All right. Well, I didn't realize it. I just ended a stream. We're just gonna start a stream right away because vice president debate. Well, we did the president debate. We might as well go and do the vice president debate. So let's get it started. I'm about 9 minutes behind. Um, so let's do this.
At the Hall and Mary, the Biden campaign
Oh,
insisted
good
on these new COVID
golly,
protections.
ABC.
We can expect that Senator Harris, a former prosecutor, is going to put Mike Pence's record as head of the coronavirus task force on the stand. We
What are we
heard that
doing?
from her chief
No,
of staff
we
just
can go
moments
forward
ago.
a little bit.
George, Kamala Harris's goal here tonight
You're
is
talking
to
to a
Mike
camera.
Pence,
Why
the
do
head
you
of the
got a
coronavirus
mask
task
on?
force on defense. She is known for
Is
those
there a
fierce
person like literally right
those
next to
feisty
you? Are you
exchanges
afraid the
during
camera's
congressional
gonna get
hearings.
COVID?
And tonight she's going to try to argue
Let's
the case
go.
that this
What is
administration
this?
is failing the American people.
There's
in
nobody
responding to
behind
this
you.
crisis.
There's
I'm told
nobody
not to expect
around
her to
you.
spend a lot of time fact-checking.
There's not a camera like moving around. It's not like shaky cam going
to the
on.
American people about how Biden-Harris White House would be leading differently in this moment. This is
Oh,
a
my
national
goodness.
stage like she has never been on before, and tonight she is going to be making history here. The first black woman, the first Indian American to ever debate for vice president. Regardless of politics, George, this is a huge moment for women, especially for young girls across this country.
For young
We will
girls?
see
Really?
how she plays on that tonight. Rachel Scott, let me bring you in as well. Mike Pence
Oh, my
has done this before 4 years ago against Tim Kaine. Did pretty well 4 years ago. Has a very different job tonight.
The fact of the matter is, George, this is not 2016, and right now the country is up against an unprecedented pandemic. And Vice President Mike Pence is the head of the coronavirus task force, so he will be put on defense tonight. He will have to defend the administration's handling of this pandemic. I'm told that he will largely focus on recovery, talk about jobs, talk about the economy bouncing back. But the reality here is that 26 million Americans are out of a job, and he will be facing some tough questions on that front, George.
Right, and the president has gone back and forth on the stimulus, the economic relief package over the last 24 hours. That is the stage right there. Moderator Susan Page will be speaking in just a few moments, outlining her goals for the debate, talking about the rules that she will be laying out as well. Everyone else in that hall wearing a mask tonight, unlike what we saw in Cleveland last week. Here's Susan Page.
Okay.
Good evening. From the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, welcome to the first and only vice presidential debate of 2020.
Watching them
sponsored by the Nonpartisan
do their
Commission on
opinions
Presidential
on what
Debates.
to watch for and stuff like
I'm
that.
Susan Page of
I
USA
like to just
Today.
learn it myself.
It is my honor to moderate this debate, an important part of our democracy. In Kingsbury Hall tonight, we have a small and socially distant audience, and we've taken extra precautions during this pandemic.
There's nobody there.
Among other things, everyone in the audience is required to wear a face mask, and the candidates will be seated 12 feet apart. The audience is enthusiastic about their candidates, but they've agreed to express that enthusiasm only twice, at the end of the debate and now when I introduce the candidates. Please welcome California Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence.
Yay! Yay! Oh, he's got a gun! He's got a gun! No, oh wait. He doesn't. That's just a tie.
Thank you.
Senator Harris and Vice President Pence, thank you for being here. We're meeting as President Trump and the First Lady continue to undergo treatment in Washington after testing positive for COVID-19. We send our thoughts and prayers to them for their rapid and complete recovery and for the recovery of everyone afflicted by the coronavirus. The two campaigns and the Commission on Presidential Debates have agreed to the ground rules for tonight. I'm here to enforce them on behalf of the millions of Americans who are watching. One note, no one in either campaign or at the Commission or anywhere else has been told in advance what topics I'll raise or what questions I'll ask. This 90-minute debate will be divided into 9 segments of about 10 minutes each. I'll begin a segment by posing a question to each of you, sometimes the same question, sometimes a different question on the same topic.
I like those
You will then have 2 minutes to answer without interruption by me
Without
or the other
interruption?
candidate. Then we'll take 6 minutes or so to discuss the issue.
Oh man, that
point,
presidential
although there
debate
will
really
always be more
messed
to
up
say, we'll move
all
on
presidential
to the next
debates
topic.
going forward.
We want a debate that is lively, but Americans also deserve a discussion that is civil.
Oh, my goodness.
These are tumultuous times, but we can and will have a respectful exchange about the big issues facing our nation.
Well, I mean,
Let's
you don't
begin
have
with the
Trump
ongoing
and you don't have a
pandemic that has
teleprompter
cost our
or a
country
ghost,
so
so you
much.
should be okay.
Senator Harris, the
Question one.
coronavirus is not under control. Over the past week, Johns Hopkins reports that 39 states have had more COVID cases over the past 7 days
Why are you smiling
than
at
in
this
the week
question?
before. 9 states have set new records. Even if a vaccine is released soon, the next administration will face hard choices. What would a Biden administration do in January and February that a Trump administration wouldn't do? Would you impose new lockdowns for businesses and schools and hotspots? A federal mandate to wear masks? You
Objection,
have 2 minutes
leading
to
the
respond
witness.
without interruption.
Thank you, Susan. Well, the American people have witnessed what is the greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country. And here are the facts. 210,000 dead people in our country in just the last several months.
Look at your
Over
notes.
7 million people who have contracted this disease. 1 in 5 businesses closed. We're looking at frontline workers who have been treated like sacrificial workers. We are looking at over 30 million people who in the last several months had to file for unemployment. And here's the thing. On January 28th,
Why is she smiling? Why is this
the
like...
Vice President and the President were informed about the nature of this pandemic. They were informed that it's lethal in
I don't
consequence,
like the fact that she's smiling.
that it is airborne,
Like,
that it will affect
COVID.
young people,
It's horrible.
and that it would be contracted because it is airborne. And they knew what was happening, and they didn't tell you. Can you imagine if you knew on January 28th, as opposed to March 13th, what they knew, what you might have done to prepare? They knew, and they covered it up. The president said it was a hoax. They minimized the seriousness of it. The president said, you're on one side of his ledger if you wear a mask, you're on the other side of his ledger if you don't. And in spite of all of that, today they still don't have a plan. They still don't have a plan. Well, Joe Biden does.
No, he
and
doesn't.
our plan is about what we need to do around a national strategy
No, he doesn't.
for contact tracing, for testing, for administration of the vaccine, and making sure that it will be free for all. That is the plan that Joe Biden has and that I have, knowing that we have to get a hold of what has been going on, and we need to save our country. And Joe Biden is the best leader to do that.
She
and
went from
frankly, this
smiling
administration
to
has forfeited
just
Thank you,
about
their
ready
right
to
to
cry.
re-election based on this.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President Pence, more than 210,000
You guys got the
Americans
plan,
have
right?
died
She
of
laid it out?
COVID-19 since
No, she
February.
didn't. She didn't lay it out
The
at
U.S.
all.
death toll as a percentage of our
let's have
population
some coffee.
is higher than that of almost every
we
other
need some
wealthy
water.
nation
I'll be
on
right back.
Earth. For instance, our death rate is 2.5 times that of Canada next door. You head the administration's coronavirus task force. Why is the U.S. death toll as a percentage of our population higher than that of almost every other wealthy country? And you have 2 minutes to respond without interruption.
Susan, thank you. And I want to thank the Commission and the University of Utah for hosting this event. And Senator Harris, it's a privilege to be on the stage with you. And our nation has gone through a very challenging time this year. But I want the American people to know that from the very first day, President Donald Trump has put the health of America first. Before there were more than 5 cases
I think
in
now
the
he's
United
putting the
States,
health
all
of
people
himself
who had returned
first.
from China. President Donald Trump did what no other American president had ever
I don't
done.
disagree, AJ, but I
And
have
that
a
was
feeling
he suspended all
the
travel
vice
from
president
China, the
debate is
second
not going to be
largest
the death of
economy
freedom.
in the world.
Just between you
Now,
and me.
Senator
In fact,
Joe Biden,
for the
Biden
most
opposed
part, none
that
of this
decision.
matters.
He said it was xenophobic and hysterical. But I can tell you, having led the White House Coronavirus Task Force, that decision alone by President Trump bought us invaluable time to stand up the greatest national mobilization since World War II.
You know, my mom
And I
already
believe it
voted.
saved hundreds of thousands of American lives. Because with that time, we were able to reinvent testing. More than 115 million tests have been done to date. We were able to see to the delivery of billions of supplies so our doctors and nurses had the resources to support they
Yeah,
needed.
so that's the problem,
And
is
we
the
began
hospitals are
really
not ready.
before the month of February was out to develop
But
a
I don't know if
vaccine
that's
and
the
to develop
Trump
medicines and
administration's fault.
therapeutics
What do you
and
think?
saving lives all along the way. And under President Trump's leadership,
is.
Operation
They're both
Warp
an
Speed, we
act.
believe will have
Look at the
literally tens
the
of millions of
smirking
doses
she's
of
doing.
vaccine before the end of this year.
Does that not annoy the
reality
crap
is,
out
when
of
you look
you?
at the Biden plan, it reads an awful lot like what President Trump and I and our task force have been doing every
And
step
not
of the way.
not to mention Pence.
I mean, quite frankly,
I don't think
when I
Pence
look
knows
at their plan
what he's
that
doing
talks
at
about
all.
advancing testing, creating new PPE, developing a vaccine, it looks a little bit like plagiarism.
I
which
don't
is something
know.
Joe
I don't
Biden
think
knows a
Mike
little
Pence
bit
knows
about.
what PPE stands
I
for.
think the American people know that this is a president who has put the
Thank you,
health
Vice
of America first, and the American people, I believe with my heart, can be
Thank you, Vice
proud of the
President Pence.
sacrifices they have made.
Look at her
It saves
smiling.
Thank you,
countless
Vice President
American
Pence.
lives.
Senator Harris, would you like to respond?
Absolutely. Whatever the vice president is
Would you like
claiming the
to-
administration
no.
has done, clearly it
No,
hasn't
no,
worked.
he buried himself.
When you're looking at over 210,000 dead bodies in our country, American lives that have been lost, families that are grieving that loss. And you know,
I really don't like
the
her
vice
facial
president
expressions.
is the head of the task force.
He kind of looks like an eraser
And
head,
knew
doesn't
on
he?
January 28th how serious this was. And then thanks to Bob Woodward, we learned that they knew about it. And then when that was exposed, the vice president said, when asked, well, why didn't y'all tell anybody? He said, because the president wanted people to remain calm.
Well, let's get
No, but Susan, this is important.
Susan,
I
I
want to
have
add,
to weigh
but
in
if,
here.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
I have to
I'm
weigh in.
speaking.
You have 15 more seconds, and then we'll
Mr.
give the
Vice President,
a chance
don't
to
you
So I wanna ask the American
mansplain.
people, how calm were you when you were panicked about where you're going to get your next roll of toilet paper? How calm were you when your kids were sent home from school and you didn't know when they could go back? How calm
Thank
were
you.
you
Thank
when
you,
your
Senator.
children
Toilet
couldn't
paper?
see your parents because you were afraid they could kill them?
Let's give Vice President Pence a chance to respond. Vice President Pence, you have 1
the
minute to
toilet
respond.
There's not a
paper.
day gone by
Really?
that I haven't thought of every American family that's lost a loved one. And I want all of you to know that you'll always be in our hearts
I mean,
and in
did
our
you
prayers.
just totally do the toilet paper?
But when you say what the American people have done over these last
Because, you know,
8
that's
months
what our
hasn't
concern
worked.
is. Our concern is toilet
That's a
paper.
great
these
disservice
days.
to the sacrifices the American people have made.
I'm referring
The
to
reality,
the
if
president.
I may finish, Senator, the reality is Dr. Fauci said everything that he told the president in the Oval Office, the president told the American
I don't
people.
know. Hold
Now,
on.
President Trump,
There
I
we
will
go.
tell you, has boundless confidence in the American people. and he
I
always
don't know
spoke with
about toilet
confidence that we'd get
paper.
through this
Where
together.
is this?
But when you say
Where
it
is all
hasn't
this
worked,
toilet paper?
when Dr. Fauci and
I
Dr. Birx
know
and
where-
our medical experts came
I
to
don't
us in
got
the
it.
second week of March, they said if the president didn't take the unprecedented step of shutting down roughly half of the American economy, that we could lose 2.2 million Americans. Now, that's the reality.
Thank you.
They also
Thank you,
said
Vice
to us if we
President
did
Pence.
everything right, Susan, we could still lose more than 200,000 Americans.
Vice President
Now, one
Pence.
life lost is too
Thank you.
many, Susan. But the American people, I believe, deserve credit for the sacrifices that they have made, putting the health of their family and their neighbors first, our doctors, our nurses, our first
Thank you, Vice
responders.
President Pence.
And I'm going to speak up on behalf of what the American people have done.
Vice President Pence, you were in the front
Why
row
is she
in a Rose Garden
smiling?
event 11 days ago. At what
She's
seems to have been
constantly
a
like,
super
"I got the
spreader
Trump
event
card."
for
Oh, wait.
senior administration and congressional
You got the
officials.
Trump card.
No
You're with
social
Trump. I got the
distancing.
Biden
Few
card.
masks, and now a cluster of coronavirus cases among those who were there. How can you expect Americans to follow the administration's safety guidelines to protect themselves from COVID when you at the White House have not been doing so?
Well, the American people
Short paper
have demonstrated over the last 8 months that when given the facts, they're willing to put the health of their families and their neighbors and people they don't even know first. And President Trump and I have great confidence in the American people and their ability to take that information and put it into practice. In the height of the epidemic, when we were losing a heartbreaking number of 2,500 Americans a day, we surged resources to New Jersey and New York and New Orleans and Detroit. We told the American people what needed to be done, and the American people made the sacrifices. When the outbreak in the Sun Belt happened this summer, again, Americans stepped forward. But the reality is the work of the President of the United States goes on. A vacancy on the Supreme Court of the United States has come upon us, and the President introduced Judge Amy Coney
Yes,
Barrett.
thank you. Thank you, Vice
But
President
at
Pence.
that, if I may say, that Rose Garden event, There's been a great deal of speculation about it. My wife Karen and I were there and honored to be there. Many of the people who were at that event, Susan, actually were tested for coronavirus. And it was an outdoor event, which all of our scientists regularly and
Wasn't
routinely
Kamala
advise.
Harris the one that
The difference
said that
here is President Trump will
Biden
trust the American people to make
raped
choices in the
somebody or
best
something
interest
like that?
of their health? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris consistently talk about mandates, and not just mandates with the coronavirus, but a government takeover of health care,
Thank you,
the Green New Deal, all government control. We're about freedom and respecting the freedom of the American people.
Let's talk about respecting the American people. You respect the American people when you tell them the truth. You respect the American people when you have the courage to be a leader, speaking of those things that you may not want people to hear, but they need to hear so they can protect themselves. But this administration stood on information that if you had as a parent, if you had as a worker, knowing you didn't have enough money saved up, and now you're standing in a food line.
Let the guy with no personality speak.
Because of the ineptitude of an administration that was unwilling to speak the truth to the American people. So let's talk about caring about the American people. The American people have had to sacrifice far too much because of the incompetence of this administration. It is asking too much of the people.
Susan, we talked about
it is asking too much of the people. That they would not be equipped with the information they need to help themselves to protect their parents and their children.
Sorry. Kamala Harris, Senator Harris, I'm sorry.
It's fine, I'm Kamala.
No, you're Senator Harris to me. For life to get back to normal, Dr. Anthony Fauci and other experts say that most of the people who can be vaccinated need to be vaccinated. But half of Americans now say they wouldn't take a vaccine if it was released now.
She's pulling the don't mansplain to me.
If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it?
If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it.
She says that now. She didn't like Dr. Fauci before.
That we should take it, I'm not taking it.
Vice President Pence, there have been a lot of repercussions from this pandemic. In recent days, the president's diagnosis of COVID-19 has underscored the importance of the job that you hold and that you are seeking. That's our second topic tonight. It's the role of the vice president. One of you will make history on January 20th. You will be the vice president to the oldest president the United States has ever had. Donald Trump will be 74 years old on Inauguration Day. Joe Biden will be 78 years old. That already has raised concerns among some voters, concerns that have been sharpened by President Trump's hospitalization in recent days. Vice President Pence, have you had a conversation or reached an agreement with President Trump about safeguards or procedures when it comes to the issue of presidential disability? And if not, do you think you should? You have 2 minutes without interruption.
Well, Susan, thank you, although I would like to go back.
I think we need to move on to the issue of
Well, thank you, but I would like to go back
presidency.
because the reality is that we're going to have a vaccine, Senator, in record time, in unheard of time, in less than a year. We have 5 companies in phase 3 clinical trials, and we're right now producing tens of millions of doses. So the fact that you continue to undermine public confidence in a vaccine, if the vaccine emerges during the Trump administration, I think is unconscionable. And Senator, I just ask you, stop playing politics with people's lives. The reality is that we will have a vaccine, we believe, before the end of this year. And it will have the capacity to save countless American lives. And your continuous undermining of confidence in a vaccine is it's just unacceptable. And let me also say, you know, the reality is when you talk about failure in this administration, we actually do know what failure looks like in a pandemic. It was 2009. The swine flu arrived in the United States.
Well, who was president?
Thankfully, it ended up not being as lethal as the coronavirus. But before the end of the year, when Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, not 7.5 million people contracted the swine flu. 60 million Americans contracted the swine flu. If the swine flu had been as lethal as the coronavirus in 2009, when Joe Biden was vice president, we would have lost 2 million American lives. His own chief of staff, Ron Klain,
Kitty Cat
would
wants to
say
watch
last
the
year
debate too.
that it was pure luck that they did, quote, everything possible wrong. And we learned from that. They left the strategic national stockpile empty.
It's
they
not
left,
funny.
An empty and hollow plan, but we still learned from it. And I think the American people, I'm going to say again, can be proud of what we have done. And Senator, please stop undermining confidence in a vaccine.
Senator Harris, let me ask you the same question that I asked Vice President Pence, which is, have you had a conversation or reached an agreement with Vice President Biden
she wins
about safeguards or procedures when it comes to the issue of presidential disability? And if not, and if you win the election next month, do you think
he's like
you should?
Like
you have
brick
2 minutes
wall.
uninterrupted.
You can't
so
tell
let me
what
tell
he's
you,
thinking
first of all,
whatsoever.
The day I got the call from Joe Biden, it was actually a Zoom call.
It was
asking
a Zoom call.
me to serve with
not
him
a
on this
WhatsApp.
ticket
It was a
was
Zoom
probably
call.
one of the most memorable days of my life. I thought about my mother, who came to the United States at the age of 19, gave birth to me at the age of 25 at Kaiser Hospital in Oakland, California. And the thought that I'd be sitting here right now, I know would make her proud, and she must be looking down on this.
Where is she?
You know, Joe and I were raised in a very similar way. We were raised with values that are about hard work.
And millionaires.
About the value and the dignity of public service.
Yeah, he does kind of look like
he's got like a zombie of fighting for the dignity of all people. And I think Joe asked me to serve with him because,
like she's super
nervous. I have a career that included being elected the first woman district attorney of San Francisco, where I created models of innovation for law enforcement in terms of reform of the criminal justice system. I was elected the first woman of color and black woman to be elected Attorney General of the state of California, where I ran the second largest Department of Justice in the United States, second only to the United States Department of Justice. And there I took on everything from transnational criminal organizations to the big banks that were taking advantage of homeowners,
it's the presidential,
to
vice presidential debate.
Taking advantage
I
of
stream the debates
and then, of
as
course,
well,
now I serve in the United States
we make
Senate
fun
as
of
only the
everybody.
second black woman ever elected to the United
Feel free to
States
make
Senate.
fun
I
of
serve on the Senate
everybody.
Intelligence Committee, where I've been in regular receipt of classified information about threats to our nation and hotspots around the world. I've traveled the world. I've met with our soldiers in war zones. And I think Joe has asked me to serve with him because he knows that we share.
What are you thinking, Mr. Pence?
We share a purpose, which is about lifting up the American people.
You
and
won't
after
get
the
me
4
banned,
years
AJ.
that we have seen of Donald Trump unifying our country around our common values and principles.
Thank you, Senator Harris. You know, neither President Trump nor Vice President Biden has released a sort of detailed health information that had become the modern norm until the 2016 election. And in recent days, President Trump's doctors have given misleading answers or refused to answer basic questions about his health. And my question to each of you in turn is this information voters deserve to know? Vice President Pence, would you like to go first?
Well, Susan, thank you. And let me say, on behalf of the President and the First Lady,
a very questionable thing copied. What do you got copied?
Prayers and concern for the President. And I do believe it's emblematic of the prayers and the concern that have ushered forth for every American impacted by the coronavirus.
Shoot it to me.
But the care the President received
in Discord, if
at
you
Walter
want.
Reed Hospital,
What do
the
you
White
got?
House doctors was
If
exceptional.
it's good, we'll
and the
put it on the
transparency
stream.
that they practiced all along the way will continue. The American people have a right to know about the health and well-being of their president, and will continue to do that. But I'm just extremely grateful and was more than a little moved by the broad and bipartisan support. And Senator, I want to thank you and Joe Biden for your expressions of genuine concern. And I also want to congratulate you.
I'll show it.
As I did on that phone call. On the historic nature of your nomination.
What does that have to do with the vice presidential
I never
debate?
expected to
You know
be
what?
on this
I take
stage
it back.
4 years ago, so
I think
know
that
the
explains the vice presidential debate perfectly
the
well.
reality is, we've got an election before the American people in the midst of this challenging year, and the stakes have never been higher. I think the choice has never been clearer.
I want to give Senator Harris a chance to respond to the same question I asked, which is, do voters have a right to know more detailed health information about presidential candidates and especially about presidents?
Would she say no to that? Would anyone say no to that?
Absolutely.
No, they don't deserve
and that's why Joe Biden has been so incredibly transparent, and certainly by contrast, the president has not. both in terms of health records, but also let's look at taxes. We now know, because of great investigative journalism, that Donald Trump paid $750 in taxes. When I first heard about it, I literally said, "You mean $750,000?" And it was like, no, $750. We now know Donald Trump owes and is in debt for $400 million. And just so everyone is clear, when we say in debt, it means you owe money to somebody. And it'd be really good to know who the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, owes money to, because the American people have a right to know what is influencing the President's decisions. And is he making those decisions on the best interest of the American people, of you, or self-interest? So, Susan, I'm glad you asked about transparency, because it has to be across the board. Joe has been incredibly transparent over many, many years. The one thing we all know about Joe, he puts it all out there.
Except for Obamacare.
He is forthright.
If you remember,
but Donald Trump, on the other
hand,
has
you
been
gotta pass it
covering
to be able to know what's in it.
Thank you, Senator Harris. I want to give you a chance to respond, Vice President.
Well, look, I respect the fact that Joe Biden
I'm
spent
surprised
47
I can't
years
see
in public
myself
life.
off his
I
forehead.
respect your
Can you?
public service as well.
His forehead is like
the American
a
people
mirror.
have a president.
He must use like
who's a
some sort of
It's a job creator.
like silver
He's paid
cream.
Tens of millions of dollars in taxes, payroll taxes, property taxes. He's created tens of thousands of American jobs. And the president said those public reports are not accurate. And the
I don't
president's
understand.
also released literally stacks of financial disclosures the American people can review just as the law allows. But
The Democrats
the distinction here
say
is
that
Joe
the president
Biden,
loses
47
tons
years
of
in
money
public service
in his
compared to
business,
President Donald
and then
Trump,
gets
who brought all of
surprised that he
experience 4
doesn't pay
years
any
ago
taxes.
Thank you,
and
Vice
turned this economy
Because
around
if you're
by
not
cutting
making money, you're not
taxes,
going to pay
rolling back
taxes. That's
regulation,
Thank you,
unleashing
Vice
American
President.
energy, fighting for free and fair
Healthcare
trade.
is,
and
I
all of
Thank you,
that
I
Vice
agree,
President.
probably
Joe
for different
Biden
reasons,
and
AJ, but
Kamala
I
Harris.
agree.
That's a good
the way.
segue into our third
great
topic,
segue.
which is about
a
the
great
economy.
segue.
This has been another aspect of life for Americans that's been so affected by this coronavirus. We have a jobs crisis brewing. On Friday, we learned that the unemployment rate had declined to 7.9% in September, but the job growth had stalled, and that was before the latest round of layoffs and furloughs in the airline industry at Disney and elsewhere. Hundreds of thousands of discouraged workers have stopped looking for work. Nearly 11 million jobs that existed at the beginning of the year haven't been replaced. Those hardest hit include Latinos, blacks, and women. Senator Harris, the Biden-Harris campaign has proposed new programs to boost the economy, and you would pay for that new spending by raising $4 trillion in taxes on wealthy individuals and corporations. Some economists warn that could curb entrepreneurial ventures that fuel growth and create jobs.
They don't know.
Taxes
They
put the
don't know the
recovery at
politics
risk,
either.
and you have 2
That's
minutes
what's
to answer
funny.
uninterrupted.
Thank you.
They don't even know what the politics
On the
are.
issue of the economy,
Listen to
I
them.
think there couldn't be a more fundamental
They're
difference
not really
between
saying
Donald Trump
anything.
and Joe Biden. Joe Biden believes you measure the health and the strength of America's economy based on the health and the strength of the American worker and the American family. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who measures the strength of the economy based on how rich people are doing, which is why he passed a tax bill benefiting the top 1% and the biggest corporations of America, leading to a $2 trillion deficit that the American people are going to have to pay for. On day one, Joe Biden will repeal that
Only
tax
if you
bill.
need
He'll
to,
get rid of it.
Ats.
And what he'll
Don't
do with the
just
money is invest
F
it in
this,
the
F
American
that, F
people.
this, F that.
And through a plan that is about investing in infrastructure, something that Donald Trump said he would do. I remember hearing about some infrastructure week. I don't think it ever happened. But Joe Biden will do that. He'll invest in infrastructure. It's about upgrading our roads and bridges, but also investing in clean energy and renewable energy. Joe is going to invest that money in what we need to do around innovation. There was a time when our country believed in science
I need some toilet paper.
and invested
Anyone
in
see any
research
toilet
and
paper around here?
development so that we were an innovation
let me see.
leader on the globe. Joe Biden will use that money to invest in education. So, for example, for folks who want to go to a 2-year community college, it will be free. If you come from a family that makes less than $125,000, you'll go to a public university for free. And across the board, we'll make sure that if you have student loan debt, it's cut by $10,000. That's how Joe Biden thinks about the economy, which is it's about investing in the people of our country, as opposed to passing a tax bill, which had the benefit of letting American corporations go offshore to do their business.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President Pence, your administration has been predicting a rapid and robust recovery, but the latest economic report suggests that's not happening. Should Americans be braced for an economic comeback that is going to take not months, but a year or more? You have 2 minutes to answer, uninterrupted.
When President Trump and I took office, America had gone through the slowest economic recovery since the Great Depression.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
When Joe Biden was vice president, they tried to tax and spend and regulate and bail our way back to a growing economy. President Trump cut taxes across the board. Despite what Senator Harris says, the average American family of four had $2,000 in savings in taxes. And with the rise in wages that occurred, most predominantly for blue-collar, hardworking Americans, the average household income for a family of four increased by $4,000 following President Trump's tax cuts.
I could
But
show
America,
some
you just heard
actual
Senator
graphs.
Harris tell you,
It's not free, Ats. It's not
Joe Biden's
free.
going to raise your taxes. It's really remarkable.
Guaranteed, it's not free. Somebody pays for it. Who's paying for it?
A time where we're going through a
Follow the
pandemic
money,
that lost
Ats.
22 million jobs at the height. We've already added
Who's
back
paying for the health care?
11.6 million jobs because we had a president who cut taxes, rolled back regulation, unleashed American energy, fought for free and fair trade, and secured $4 trillion from the Congress of the United States to give direct
They like to
payments
make you
families,
think it's free.
save 50
But it's not
million
free.
jobs through the Paycheck Protection Program. We literally have spared no expense to help the American people and the American
who's
workers
paying the
through
doctors?
this. Joe Biden and Kamala
who's
Harris
paying the
want to raise
professors?
taxes. They
Are
want
they
to bury
doing
our
it for free?
economy
Are
under
they-
a $2 trillion
professors aren't
Green
getting
New
paid?
Deal, which you were one of the original co-sponsors of in the United States Senate. They want to abolish fossil fuels and ban fracking,
Are
which
you
would
saying
cost
that a
hundreds of
professor
thousands
in the
of
UK
American
makes
jobs
less
all
than a
across the
professor in the
heartland.
United States?
And Joe Biden wants to
I
go
don't
back
even
to
know
the
if that's true or
economic
not.
surrender to China that when we
But it's
took
not
office,
free. You
half
pay
of our
for it.
international trade
You just
deficit
pay
was
for
with
it.
China
You have to go like
alone.
around
And Joe Biden wants to repeal
a
all
few
of the
bushes
tariffs
to find out
that President
where
Trump
that
put
money's
into
coming
effect to
from.
fight for American jobs
In
and
fact,
American
I'd probably
workers.
say that your
Joe
taxes
Biden says
are higher
democracy's
than
on the
that in the
ballot.
United States.
Make no mistake about it,
because
Susan. The
everybody
American
pays for the
economy, the
college.
American
Everyone pays
comeback
for the
is
health
on
care.
the ballot with 4 more years of growth
Thank
and
you.
mention you guys are a
opportunity,
lot
4 more
smaller.
years of President Donald Trump. 2021
Thank
is
you,
going to
Vice
be the
President.
biggest economic year in the history of this country.
Thank you, Vice President Pence. Senator Harris?
Well, I mean, I thought we saw enough of it in last week's debate, but I think this is supposed to be a debate based on fact and truth. And the truth and the fact is, Joe
crying
Biden
out
has been very
loud.
clear. He will not raise taxes on anybody who makes less than $400,000
He said
a
he's going to
year.
repeal the Trump tax cuts.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking.
It'd
I'm speaking.
be important if you
I'm
said the
speaking,
truth.
and I'm going to be.
Joe Biden said twice in the debate last week that he's going to repeal the Trump tax cuts. That was tax cuts that gave the average working family $2,000 in a tax break every single year. Senator,
that is
that's the math.
absolutely not true. That
Is he
tax
only
bill-
is he only going to repeal part of the Trump tax cuts?
If you don't mind letting me finish,
Okay, finish.
we can then have a conversation, okay?
Please.
We can have a conversation because we're not doing that right now.
Joe Biden will
right
not
now, you're
raise
just
taxes on
interrupting
anyone
me.
who makes less than $400,000 a year. He has been very clear about that. Joe Biden will not end fracking. He has been very clear about that. Joe
Hide
Biden
that one.
is the one who, during the Great Recession, was responsible for the Recovery Act that brought America back. And now the Trump-Pence administration wants to take credit when they rode the coattails of Joe Biden's success for the economy that they had at the beginning of their term. Of course, now the economy is a complete disaster. But Joe Biden, on the one hand, did that. On the other hand, you have Donald Trump, who has reigned over a recession that is being compared to the Great Depression. On the one hand, you have Joe Biden, who was responsible with President Barack Obama for the Affordable Care Act, which brought health care to over 20 million Americans and protected people with pre-existing conditions. And what it also did is it saved those families who otherwise were going bankrupt because of hospital bills they could not afford. On the other hand, You have Donald Trump, who's in
She's
court
on-
right now,
She's
trying
on
to get
three
rid of,
hand,
Thank you,
by the
Senator.
way.
trying
She's
to
on
get
her
rid of
3 hand.
the Affordable Care Act.
On the other hand,
which
on the
means
other
that
hand, on the
you will
other
lose
hand.
protections if you have pre-existing conditions, and this is very important, Susan.
Yes,
and it's
but we
important.
need to give Vice President.
I'd just like to, he interrupted me, and I'd like
He
to just finish,
interrupted me?
please. If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer,
Yeah,
they're
is this
coming
something
for
like
you.
Dreams videos?
If you love someone who has a
That's-
pre-existing condition,
Thank
they're
you, Senator
coming for
Harris.
you. If you are under the age of 26 on your parents' coverage, they're coming for you.
Senator
Coming
Harris,
for you.
thank you.
Oh,
We
my
want
God.
to give you a chance to respond.
I hear
Well, I
him.
hope we have a chance to talk about health care because Obamacare was a disaster.
He's at my door.
The American people remember it well. And President Trump and I have a plan to improve health care
She's
and protect
trying to make you
pre-existing conditions for every American. But look, Senator Harris, you're
coming for
entitled to
you.
your own opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts.
You're not
You
entitled to-
yourself said on multiple
Boom!
occasions when you were running for president that you would ban fracking. Joe Biden looked at a supporter in the eye and pointed and said, I guarantee that we will abolish fossil fuels. They have a $2 trillion version of the Green New Deal, Susan, that your newspaper, USA Today, said really wasn't that very different from the original Green New Deal. More taxes, more regulation, banning fracking, abolishing fossil fuel, crushing American energy, and economic surrender to China is a prescription for economic decline. President Trump and I will keep America growing. The V-shaped recovery that's underway right now will continue with 4 more years of President Donald Trump in the White House.
Thank
Did
you
you
very much,
advertise it
Vice
on the
President
Discord,
Pence. Once again,
Nats?
you've provided the perfect segue
You know,
to
if
a
you
new topic,
stream
which
or
is
upload a
climate
video, you're
change.
welcome to
And Vice
post
President
it.
Pence,
And
I'd
I'll
like to
go
pose
up.
the
I
first
usually go
question
up and click
to you.
like and
This year
make a
we've seen
comment or something like
record-setting
that.
hurricanes
I
in the
support
south.
you if
Another
that's
one,
what you do.
Hurricane Delta, is now threatening the Gulf. And we have seen record-setting wildfires in the West. Do you believe, as the scientific community has concluded, that man-made climate change has made wildfires bigger, hotter, and more deadly, and have made hurricanes wetter, slower, and more damaging? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
We talked
you,
about
Susan.
this.
Well, first, I'm very
the
proud of our record on
presidency
the
and the
environment and on
presidency.
conservation. According to all of the best estimates, our air and land are cleaner than any time ever recorded, and our water is among the cleanest in the world. And just a little while ago, the
There's
president
a
signed
reason
Outdoors
why
Act.
it's
the
called
largest
the
investment in
Brokeland
our
server
public
and not
lands
the
and public
KeithsDad
parks
server.
in 100 years.
Our
So
Discord is
President
not
Trump
the
has made a
KeithsDad
commitment to
server. I
conservation
run
and
the
to the
server,
environment.
but it's
Now,
not
with
the
regard to climate
KeithsDad
change,
server. It's the Brokeland
the climate
server.
is changing.
And if you're part of the
the
server,
issue
then you're
is,
part of Brokeland.
What's the cause?
So you're
and
welcome
what do we do
to.
about
I
it?
don't mind.
President
Just
Trump has
don't
made it
at
clear that we're going to
everybody.
continue to
Don't
listen to
at
the
everyone.
science.
Only
Now, Joe Biden
only I can do that.
and
But
Kamala Harris would put
absolutely
us back in the Paris
post it.
Climate Accord. They'd impose the Green New Deal, which would crush American energy, would
don't see-
increase the
Do you
energy
have
costs of
videos,
American
AJ? Do you post
families
videos?
in their homes, and literally would
Shoot me a
crush
Discord
American
message.
jobs. And President Trump and I believe that the progress that we have made in a cleaner environment has been happening precisely
here's the
because
question
we have
all
a
Americans
strong
asking.
free market economy.
Which
You know,
flag
what's
do you like
remarkable
better?
is the United
The
States
wavy
has
one
reduced
that Pence has,
CO2
or the straight
more
one?
than the countries that are still in the
That-
Paris
that Cam-
Climate Accord. But
Kamala
we've
Harris
done it
has.
through innovation. And we've done it through natural gas and fracking, which, Senator, the American people can go look at the record. I know Joe Biden says otherwise now, as you do. But the both of
hold
you
on.
repeatedly committed to abolishing fossil fuel and banning fracking. And so by creating the kind of American innovation, we're actually steering toward a stronger and better environment. With regard to wildfires, President Trump and I believe that forest management has to be front and center, and even Governor Gavin Newsom from your state has agreed we've got to work on forest management. And with regard to hurricanes, the National Oceanic Administration tells us that actually as difficult as they are,
Thank you, Vice President.
there are no more hurricanes today than
Thank
there
you.
were 100 years ago.
Thank you.
But many of the climate alarmists
President Pence,
use
I'm sorry, your time
hurricanes
is up.
and wildfires to try and
Thank
sell
you,
the
Vice
goods
President
of
Pence.
the Green New Deal. And President Trump and I are going to always put
Thank you,
American
Vice
jobs and
President
American
Pence.
workers first.
Senator Harris, as the Vice President mentioned, you co-sponsored
Yeah,
the Green
just
New Deal in
don't
Congress.
at everybody.
But Vice President Biden said in last week's debate that he does not support the Green New Deal. But if you look at the Biden-Harris campaign website, it describes the Green New Deal as a crucial framework. What exactly would be the stance of a Biden-Harris administration toward the Green New Deal? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Sure. So first of all, I will repeat, and the American people know, that Joe Biden will not ban fracking. That is a fact. That is a fact. I will repeat that Joe Biden has been very clear that he thinks about growing jobs, which is why he will not increase taxes for anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year.
She's got
Joe
talking
Biden's economic
points
plan
on her piece of paper,
Moody's,
and she
which
just
is a
keeps
reputable Wall Street
repeating
firm,
her talking
has
points.
said will create 7
She's
million
not
more
debating.
jobs
She's reading a
than
list.
Donald Trump's. And part of those
she
jobs that will
annoys
be
me.
created by Joe Biden are going to be about clean energy and renewable energy.
He annoys me too.
Because
but
you
she
see,
just-
Joe understands that the west coast of our country is burning, including my home state of California.
Yeah, because
Joe
you don't
sees
put the-
what is happening
the
on the
trenches
Gulf
in.
states, which are being battered by storms. Joe has seen and talked with the farmers in Iowa, whose entire crops have been destroyed because of floods. And so Joe believes, again, in science. I'll tell you something, Susan. I served, when I first got to the Senate, on the committee that's responsible for the environment.
you
Do you know
can
this
DM me.
administration took the word science off the website and then took the phrase climate change off the website? We have seen a pattern with this administration, which is they don't believe in science. And Joe's plan is about saying we're going to deal with it, but we're also going to create jobs. Donald Trump, when asked about the wildfires in California, and the question was, you know, the science is telling us this, you know what Donald Trump said? Science doesn't know. So let's talk about who is prepared to lead our country over the course of the next
Science
4
doesn't
years
know.
on what
Is that
is
a
an
quote?
existential threat to us as human beings. Joe is about saying we're going to invest that in renewable energy. It's going to be about the creation of millions of jobs. We will achieve net zero emissions by 2050, carbon neutral by 2035. Joe has a plan. This has been a lot of talk from the Trump administration, and really it has been to go backward instead of forward. We will also re-enter the climate agreement with pride.
Senator Harris just said that climate change is an existential threat. Vice President Pence, do you believe that climate change poses an existential threat?
As I said, Susan, the climate is changing. We'll follow the science. But once again, Senator Harris is denying the fact that they're going to raise taxes on every American. Joe Biden said twice in the debate last week that on day one he was going to repeal the Trump tax cuts. Those tax cuts delivered $2,000 in tax relief to the average family of 4 across America. And with regard to banning fracking, I just recommend that people look at the record. You yourself said repeatedly that you would ban fracking. You were the first Senate co-sponsor of the Green New Deal. And while Joe Biden denied the Green New Deal, Susan, thank you for pointing out, the Green New Deal is on their campaign website. And as USA Today said, it's essentially the same plan as you co-sponsored with AOC when she submitted it in the Senate. And you just heard the senator say that she's going to resubmit America to the Paris Climate Accord. Look, the American people have always cherished our environment. We'll continue to cherish it. We've made great progress reducing CO2 emissions through American innovation and the development of natural gas through fracking. We don't need a massive $2 trillion Green New Deal that would impose all new mandates on American businesses.
Heck, I only have
and American
AJ mod
families.
because he's been
Joe
here like
Biden wants us
forever.
to retrofit 4 million American business buildings. It makes no sense. It will cost jobs. President Trump is going to put America first. He's going to put jobs first, and we're going to take care of our environment and follow the science.
Thank you,
But, you know, on the issue of jobs,
Senator Harris.
let's talk about that. The vice president earlier referred to, as part of what he thinks is an accomplishment, the president's trade war with China. You lost that trade war. You lost it. What ended up happening is because of a so-called trade war with China, America lost 300,000 manufacturing jobs. Farmers have experienced bankruptcy because of it. We are in a manufacturing recession because of it. And when we look at where this administration has been, there are estimates that by the end of the term of this administration, they will have lost more jobs than almost any other presidential administration. And the American people know what I'm talking about. You know, I think about 20-year-olds. You know, we have a 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old, who are coming out of high school and college right now, and you're wondering, is there going to be a job there for me? We're looking at people who are trying to figure out how they're going to pay rent by the end of the month. Almost half of American renters are worried about whether they're going to be able to pay rent by the end of the month. This is where the economy is in America right now, and it is because of the catastrophe and the failure of leadership of this administration.
That's not true
Senator
at all.
Harris. Vice President Pence, let me give you just 15 seconds to respond, because then I want to move on to.
Well, I'd love to respond. Look, lost the trade war with China. Joe Biden never fought it. Joe Biden has been a cheerleader for communist China over the last several decades. And again, Senator Harris, you're entitled to your opinion, you're not entitled to your own facts.
China.
When Joe Biden was vice president, we lost 200,000 manufacturing jobs, and President Obama said they were never coming back. He said we needed a magic wand to bring them back. In our first 3 years after we cut taxes,
don't worry,
regulation,
they
unleashed
both
American
are
energy,
as well.
this administration saw 500,000 manufacturing jobs created. And that's exactly the kind of growth we're going to continue to see as we bring our nation through this pandemic. But a Green New Deal, your massive new mandates, your Paris Climate Accord, it's going to kill jobs this time, just like it killed jobs.
I just need to respond very briefly.
15 seconds, and then we'll move on.
Thank you. Joe Biden is responsible for saving America's auto industry, and you voted against it. So let's set the record straight. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about China. We have, as our next topic, we have no more complicated or consequential foreign relationship than the one with China.
She's got a black screen behind her.
It is a huge market for American agricultural goods. It's a
potential
partner in dealing with climate change in North Korea. And in a video tonight, President Trump again blamed it for the coronavirus, saying China will pay.
I know school seems horrible.
How would you describe our fundamental relationship with
compared
China?
To adult
competitors,
life.
Adversaries, enemies? You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Susan.
No, they won't, AJ.
Well, let me, before
and it's not necessarily
let me
their
speak
fault,
to
but
voting records, if I can. You know, everybody knows that NAFTA cost literally thousands of American factories to close. We saw automotive jobs go south of the border. President Trump fought to renegotiate NAFTA. And the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement is now the law of the land.
The law of the land.
American people deserve to know Senator Kamala Harris was one of only 10 members of the Senate to vote against the USMCA. It was a huge win for American auto workers. It was a huge win for American farmers, especially dairy in the upper Midwest. But Senator, you said it didn't go far enough on climate change, that you put your radical environmental agenda ahead of American auto workers and ahead of American jobs. I think the American people deserve to know that. It's probably why Newsweek magazine said that Kamala Harris was the most liberal member of the United States Senate in 2019.
AJ.
More liberal than Bernie Sanders.
You can't not
more liberal than any of the others.
Would you say
in
not
the United
send
States
people
Senate.
to school?
So, now, with regard to China, look, Susan, first and foremost.
And I want your channel, AJ. If you got
China
videos,
is
I
to
want to watch
blame for the coronavirus. And President Trump is not happy about it. He's made that very clear, made it clear again today. And China and the World Health Organization did not play straight with the American people.
The China virus?
They did not let our personnel into China to get information on the coronavirus until the middle of February. Fortunately, President Trump, in dealing with China from the outset of this administration, standing up to China that had been taking advantage of America for decades in the wake of Joe Biden's cheerleading for China.
You don't actually have
President
money.
Trump made that decision before the end of January to suspend all travel from China.
I mean,
and again,
I have money,
American
but
people
I also went
Joe
to college.
Biden opposed President Trump's
15
decision to
years
suspend all travel from China. He said it was hysterical. He said
you
it
don't
was
just get out of school
President
and
Trump
get a
has
great
stood
job.
up to China. We're going to continue to stand strong.
And you spend as much as you make.
We want to improve the relationship, but we're going to level the playing field, and we're going to hold China accountable for what they did to America with the coronavirus.
Thank you. Senator Harris, let me ask you the same question that I asked the Vice President. How would you describe our fundamental relationship with China? Are we competitors, adversaries, enemies? You'll have 2
school.
minutes
We wouldn't have any
uninterrupted.
new phones. We wouldn't have
Susan,
any computers. This all
Trump
takes school.
administration's perspective and approach
Are
to
you saying
China
no
has
more?
resulted in the loss of American lives, American jobs,
I'm trying to listen
and
to her at the
America's
same time.
standing.
Talk to you.
There's a weird obsession that President Trump has had with getting rid of whatever
weird obsession.
accomplishment was achieved by President Obama and Vice President Biden.
Well,
For
that's,
example,
that's
they
what
created
Republicans
within the
and
White
Democrats
House
do.
an office
They
that
completely
basically was
destroy the
responsible
last
for monitoring
administration.
pandemics. They got away, they got rid of it.
Not true.
5G
There
radiation's
was
not
a
real.
team of disease
What?
experts
It's not real.
that President Obama and Vice President Biden
Didn't someone
dispatched
blame
to China
COVID on 5G?
to monitor what is now predictable and what might happen. They pulled them out. We now are looking at 210,000 Americans who have lost their lives.
I think she's just
Let's
making up
look at
numbers.
the job situation.
Oh,
We
she's
mentioned
looking at her
before
notes.
the
Yep.
trade deal,
Talking
the
point.
trade war.
When she
they
has
wanted
nothing to
call it,
talk
with
about,
China.
she brings
it
out her
resulted
talking
in the
points.
loss of over 300 manufacturing jobs and a manufacturing recession, and the American consumer paying thousands of dollars more for goods because of that failed war that they called it. Then let's talk about standing. Pew, a reputable research firm,
I got it
has
totally
done
wrong in
an
2016.
analysis that shows that leaders of all of our formerly allied countries have now decided that they hold in greater esteem and respect Xi Jinping, the head of the Chinese
It is fully
Communist
up.
Party,
Doesn't
than they do Donald Trump,
Verizon
the
have
President of the
nationwide
United States,
5G?
the Commander-in-Chief of the United States. This is where we are today because of a failure of leadership by this administration.
Senator Harris, we've seen changes in the
all
in the
they're
role
doing
of
is
the
talking
United
about
States in terms
everyone's
of global leadership
failures. We could
over
be
the
here
past
for
4 years.
10
and of
hours
course, times
talking
do
about
change.
the failures of both parties.
What's your definition? We've seen strains with China, of course, as the Vice President mentioned. We've seen strains with our traditional allies in NATO and elsewhere. What
Sometimes
is
you
your
just wish for a
definition of the
commercial.
role of American leadership
Don't you?
in 2020?
So, you know, Joe is, I love talking with Joe about a lot of these issues. And, you know, Joe, I think he said it quite well. He says, you know, foreign policy, it might sound complicated, but really it's relationships. So just think about it as relationships. And so we know this in our personal and professional relationships. You got to keep your word to your friends. You got to be loyal to your friends. People who've stood with you, got to stand with them. You got to know who your adversaries are and keep them in check. But what we have seen with Donald Trump is that he has betrayed our friends and embraced dictators around the world. Let's take, for example, Russia. So, Russia, I serve on the Intelligence Committee of the United States Senate. America's intelligence community told us
when in doubt,
Russia interfered in the election of the President of the United States in 2016 and is playing in 2020. Christopher Wray, the director of the FBI, said the same. But Donald Trump, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America, prefers to take the word of Vladimir Putin over the word of the American intelligence community. You look at our friends at NATO. He has walked away from agreements. You can look at the Iran nuclear deal, which now has put us in a position where we are less safe because they are building up what might
I
end
don't
up
mean
being a
to ignore
significant
you,
nuclear
right?
arsenal.
But I can only deal
We were
with
in
one
that
depressing
deal, guys.
thing
We
at
were
a
in the
time,
Iran nuclear
and we're
deal with
watching the
friends,
vice
with allies
presidential
around the
debate.
country. And because of
So
Donald Trump's
I can't deal
unilateral
with your
approach to
depressing
foreign
situation
policy,
while we're
coupled with
watching a
his
vice presidential
isolationism,
debate. No offense.
he pulled us out and has made America less safe. So, Susan,
One
it's
depressing
about
thing at a time,
relationships.
Ats. One depressing thing at a
And the thing that has
time.
always been part of the strength of our nation, in addition to our great military, has been that we keep our word. But Donald Trump doesn't understand that because he doesn't understand what it means to be honest.
Thank you, Senator Harris. Vice President Pence, let me give you a chance to respond.
Well, thank you. Well, President Trump kept his word when we moved the American embassy
Is
to
Pence's
Jerusalem,
hair getting whiter?
the capital of the state of Israel. When Joe Biden was vice president, they promised to do that, and they never did. We've stood strong with our allies, but we've been demanding. NATO is now contributing more to our common defense than ever before, thanks to President Trump's leadership. We've strengthened our alliances across the Asia-Pacific, and we've stood strong against those who would do us harm. You know, when President Trump came into office, ISIS had captured an area of the Middle East the size of Pennsylvania.
YouTube held
President Trump unleashed the American military.
What's wrong with that
statement?
statement?
Our armed forces destroyed the ISIS
There's
caliphate
no swear
and
in
took
it.
down their leader al-Baghdadi without one American casualty.
Is YouTube
al-Baghdadi
pro-Trump?
was
Is that
responsible for the death of thousands. But notably, America's hearts today are with the family of Kayla Mueller, her parents of which are here with us tonight in Salt Lake City.
Or did you swear? Is
Today,
Trump a swear?
2 of the ISIS killers responsible for Kayla Mueller's
We are
murder
reacting. We're
were
reacting
brought
to the
justice
live
in the United
vice
States.
presidential debate.
Jihadi John was killed on the battlefield along with the other.
The DOT's
beatings.
watching.
The reality is that
Oh my
when
gosh!
Joe Biden was vice president, we had an opportunity
They're here.
to save Kayla Mueller. It breaks my heart
Yes,
to
my
reflect
door's
on
right
it, but
over
the
there.
military came into the Oval Office, presented a plan. They said they knew where Kayla was. Baghdadi had held her for 18 months, abused her mercilessly before they killed her.
My desk is creaking. Can
But
you hear that?
when Joe Biden was vice president, they hesitated for a month. And when armed forces finally went in, it was clear she'd been moved 2 days earlier. And her family says with a heart that broke the heart of every American that if President Donald Trump had been president, they believe Kayla would be alive today.
Thank you, Vice
Look, we
President.
destroyed the ISIS caliphate.
What if?
And you talk about re-entering the Iran nuclear deal. I mean, the last administration transferred $1.8 billion to the leading state sponsor
submit
Thank you, Vice
something.
of terrorism. President Donald Trump got us out
me
of the
some,
deal.
Matt, so I'll respond to it.
And when Qasem Soleimani was traveling to Baghdad
Thank you,
to do
Vice President
harm
Pence.
to Americans,
Thank you, Vice President
President
Pence.
Donald Trump took
Thank you,
him
Vice
out.
President Pence.
And
Thank you,
America
Vice
is
President Pence.
safer, our allies are safer.
Thank
and the
you, Vice
American
President
people know
Pence.
President Donald Trump will never
Thank you, Vice President.
take
Can I have a
action.
I
button?
would like to give Senator Harris a
Thank you,
chance
Vice
to respond,
President
but
Pence.
not at such great length
Thank you,
because, of
Vice
course, there are other
President Pence.
topics we want to talk about.
But I would like equal time.
Yes.
Thank you.
Please go ahead.
I would like equal time.
First of all, to the Mueller family, I know about your daughter's case, and I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Who's she talking to?
What happened to her is
What is
awful.
my green screen? My green screen.
And it should have never happened.
There we go. My
And I know
toilet
Joe
paper.
feels the same way. And I know that President Obama feels the same way. But you mentioned Soleimani. Let's start there.
Let's start there.
So after the strike on Soleimani, there was a counter strike on our troops in Iraq.
Been there, done
and-
that.
They
Loved
suffered
being in
serious
Iraq.
brain injuries, and do you know what Donald Trump dismissed them as? Headaches. And this is about a pattern of Donald Trump's, where he has referred to our men who are serving in our military as suckers and
Dr.
losers.
Donald Trump, apparently.
Donald Trump,
She thinks
who
he's a
went to
doctor.
Arlington Cemetery and stood above the graves.
All right, that's
of
that
our
one.
fallen
That one I might have to put you
and
in
said,
timeout for.
What's in it for them?
That one I might have to put you in
Because
timeout
of course,
for.
you know, he only thinks about what's in it for him. Let's take what he said about John McCain, a great American hero. And Donald Trump says he doesn't deserve to be called a hero because he was a prisoner of war. And this is very important when you want to talk about who is the current commander-in-chief and what they care about and what they don't care about.
She's right.
Public reporting that Russia
He
had
was a hero.
bounties on the heads of American soldiers.
You know who's also
and
a
you know
hero?
what a bounty is?
KeithsDad.
It's somebody puts a price on your head and they will pay it if you are killed.
You guys didn't know, I've been to Iraq.
Donald Trump
Twice.
has talked at least 6 times to Vladimir Putin
2003 and
and
2004.
never brought up the subject. Joe Biden would never do that.
Thank you.
Joe Biden would, but Joe Biden would hold Russia to account for any threat to our nation's security or to our troops who are sacrificing their lives for the sake of our democracy and our safety.
Thank you, Senator Harris. This is such an important issue, but we have other important issues as well, and
Susan,
I want to make sure we have a chance.
I really have
talk
to respond
about,
to that.
I'm,
Look, she has
15 seconds because
Well, I gotta
we're
have
trying
more
to
than
keep.
that. Look,
well,
I
I'm
gotta have more
Vice
than that.
President,
Give me
you
like
had more time than
17.
she's had.
the
So far,
slanders against President Donald Trump regarding men and women of our armed forces are absurd.
I'm sorry, Vice President
My son
Pence.
is a captain in the United
Yes.
States Marine Corps. My son-in-law is deployed in the
Hoorah!
United States Navy. I can assure all of you, with sons and daughters serving in our military,
Semper Fi.
President Donald Trump not only respects but reveres all of those who serve in our armed forces, and any suggestion otherwise is ridiculous.
Thank you,
I mean,
Vice
he's
President
totally
Pence.
the
Vice President
Toby
Pence,
Keith of the
Vice
presidency.
President
People
Pence,
deserve
I didn't,
to know
Vice President Pence, I did not, excuse me.
Oh,
I
she's,
did not
oh,
agree
she,
to the rules for tonight.
Camilla Harris, get on that bandwagon.
I agreed to the rules for tonight's debate with the Commission on Presidential Debates. I'm here to enforce
I did
them,
agree to the
which
rules.
involves
I just don't
moving
care
from
about
one
them.
topic to another, giving roughly equal time to both of you, which is what I'm trying very hard to do.
Go right ahead.
So I want to go ahead and move to the next topic, which is an important one, as the last topic was, and that is the
Hey,
Supreme
if you
Court.
have to have the debater fighting for your
On Monday,
side,
the
do you
Senate
really
Judiciary
think
Committee is
you
scheduled
deserve
to
to
open
be
hearings
president
on Amy
or
Coney
vice
Barrett's
president?
nomination to
If
the
the
Supreme Court.
debater's
Senator
got to
Harris
fight for you.
will be there as a member of the committee. Her confirmation would cement the court's
The
conservative
moderator,
majority and make it likely
gotta
open to
back
more
you up.
abortion restrictions, even to overturning the landmark Roe v. Wade ruling. Access to abortion would then be up to the states. Vice President Pence,
Good.
you're the former governor of
not
Indiana.
good, but good.
If Roe v. Wade is overturned, what would you want Indiana to do? Would you want your home state to ban all abortions? You have 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Well, thank you for the question, but I'll use a little bit of my time to respond to that very important issue before.
Thank you for the
people
question,
deserve to know
but I'm going to ignore it.
Qasem Soleimani, the Iranian general, was responsible for the death of hundreds
Don't you love what
of
they
American
do?
service members. When the opportunity came, we saw him headed to Baghdad to
By the way,
kill
did
more
I mention my
Americans.
son's a
President
captain
Trump
in the United States Marine
didn't
Corps?
hesitate, and Qasem Soleimani is gone. But you deserve to know that Joe
No,
Biden and Kamala
I'm
Harris
terrible at
actually
PvP.
criticized
Terrible.
the decision to take out
Terrible.
Qasem
A silverfish
Soleimani.
is better at PvP
It's
than
really
I am.
inexplicable, but with regard
Yep.
to Joe Biden, it's explainable. Because history records that Joe Biden actually opposed the raid against Osama bin Laden. It's absolutely essential that we have a commander-in-chief who will not hesitate to act to protect American lives and to protect American service members, and that's what you have in President Donald Trump. Now, with regard to the Supreme Court of the United States, let me say President Trump and I could not be more enthusiastic about the opportunity to see Judge Amy Coney Barrett become Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Now, she's a brilliant woman, and she will bring a lifetime of experience and a sizable American family to the Supreme Court of the United States.
I'm going to vote for
And
whoever
our
puts
hope is
kitties
in the hearing
in
next
everybody's
week, unlike
hand.
Justice Kavanaugh received
Everybody
with
should
treatment
get
from you and
kitties.
others, we hope she gets a fair hearing. And we particularly hope
tiny
that we
kitty
don't
here.
see the kind of attacks on her
My precious little
Christian
tiny
faith
kitty.
that we saw before. I mean, the Democrat chairman of the Judiciary Committee before,
There would be no wars if everyone had a kitty
Judge
cat.
Barrett was being confirmed for the Court of Appeals, expressed concern that the dogma of her faith lived loudly in her. Dick Durbin of Illinois said that it was a concern. Senator, I know one of our judicial nominees you actually attacked because they were a member of the Catholic Knights of Columbus, just because the Knights of Columbus holds pro-life views and
Thank you.
pro-marriage views.
Thank you, Vice President
So
Pence. Your
my
time
hope
is
is
up.
that when the hearing takes place,
Thank you, Vice President Pence.
that Judge Amy Coney Barrett will be respected,
Thank you,
treated
Vice President
respectfully,
Pence.
voted and confirmed
Thank
to the
you.
Supreme Court of the United States.
Senator Harris,
Thank you.
you're
Thank you,
the
but
senator from
that's-
and former Attorney General
That's
of
her
California. So let
catchphrase.
me ask you
That's
a
her
parallel
catchphrase.
question to the one I
Thank you,
posed to the Vice President.
Mr. Vice President Pence.
If Roe v. Wade is overturned, what would you want California to do? Would you want your home state to enact no restrictions on access to abortion? And you have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Thank you, Susan. First of all, Joe Biden and I are both people of
She's
faith.
not going to answer it. She's
And
not
it's
going to answer
insulting
it.
to suggest
She's not going to answer it.
that we would knock anyone for their faith. And in fact, Joe, if elected, will be only the second practicing Catholic as president of the United States. On the issue of this nomination, Joe and I are very clear, as are the majority of the American people.
She's not answering the
We
question.
are 27 days before the decision about who will be the next president of the
Answer
United
the
States.
question.
And, you know, before, when this conversation has come up, you know, it's been about election year,
She's
or
not.
election time.
She's like,
We're literally in an election.
Here's the
Over
question.
4 million people have voted.
This is what she's answering.
People are in the process of voting right now.
She forgot
and
the
so
question.
Joe has been very clear, as the American people are. Let the American people fill that seat in the White House, and then we'll fill that seat on the United States Supreme Court. And to your point, Susan, the issues before us couldn't be more serious. There's the issue of choice, and I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body. It should be her decision and not that of Donald Trump and the Vice President, Michael Pence. But
Yeah,
let's
but what
also
about a
look at what else
Supreme
is before
Court? Because right now it's the
court.
decision of the
It's the
Supreme
Affordable
Court.
Care Act. Like, literally in the midst of a public health pandemic.
She still hasn't answered the question.
When over 210,000 people have died and 7
what?
million people
Or back at
probably
COVID.
have what will be in
She's
the
come
future
full
considered
circle.
a pre-existing condition because
She's come full
you
circle.
contracted the virus. Donald Trump is in court right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And I said it before, and it bears repeating. This means that there will be no more protections if they win for people with pre-existing conditions.
I could run for president.
This means that over 20 million people will lose your coverage. It means that if you're under the age of 26, you can't stay on your parents'
What
coverage
would
anymore.
California do
And here's
if
the thing.
if
contrast
Roe
couldn't
v.
be more
Wade
clear.
was overturned?
They're trying to get rid of
What
the
would
Affordable Care
California
Act.
do?
Joe Biden is saying, let's expand coverage. Let's give you a choice of a public option or private coverage. Let's bring down premiums.
Thank you, Senator.
Let's lower Medicare
open?
eligibility to 60.
Thank you,
She
Senator.
did. She forgot the question.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Vice President Pence, that the president was committed to maintaining
not bad,
protections for
Ats.
people with
It's
pre-existing
not bad.
conditions. And
That's
you do
actually
have this court
good.
case that you
It's
are
good.
supporting, your administration supporting, that would strike down the Affordable Care Act. The president says, President Trump says that he's going to protect people with pre-existing conditions, but he has not explained how he would do that. And that was one of the toughest nuts to crack when they were passing the Affordable Care Act. So tell us specifically, how would your administration protect Americans with pre-existing conditions to have access to affordable insurance if the Affordable Care Act is struck down?
Is he going to answer it?
Well,
He's probably not going
thank
to
you,
answer it
Susan,
either.
but let me just say, addressing your very first question.
Here's the question. Bye.
I couldn't be more proud to serve as Vice
My
President to a
question.
president who
Go
stands
on.
without apology for the sanctity of human
It's not
life.
here anymore.
I'm pro-life. I don't apologize for it.
It's
And
gone.
this is another one of those
I don't know
cases
what
where
that
there's
is,
such
but-
a dramatic contrast.
Here it goes.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris support taxpayer funding of abortion all the way up to the moment of birth. Late-term abortion. They want to increase funding to Planned Parenthood of America. Now, for our part, I would never presume how Judge Amy Coney Barrett would rule on the Supreme Court
That question's
of
gone.
the United States, but
I don't even remember the
we'll
question.
continue to stand strong for the right to
Do
life.
you? Do you?
When you speak about the Supreme Court, though, I think the American people really deserve an answer, Senator Harris. Are you and Joe Biden going to pack the court if Judge Amy Coney Barrett is confirmed?
Oh.
I mean, there have been 29 vacancies on the Supreme Court during presidential election years, from George Washington to Barack Obama. Presidents have nominated in all 29 cases. But your party is actually openly
gonna write.
advocating
I'm
adding seats to the
ignoring you.
Supreme Court, which has
This is
had
my
9
tactic. We're
seats for
gonna ignore.
150 years. If you don't get your way, this is a classic case.
I'm
of if
sorry.
you can't
Are you
win by
talking
the
to me?
rules,
Are we in
you're
a
gonna
debate?
change the rules. Now, you've refused to answer the question. Joe Biden has refused to answer the question.
She's not gonna
I think
answer the
American
question
people would really like to know.
even
if
when you
Judge
ask it
Amy
again.
Coney Barrett is confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States.
She's not going to answer
Are you
it.
and Joe
They're
Biden,
They're
if somehow
done.
you win this
We're
election,
done
going
answering
to
questions.
pack the Supreme Court
Let's
to
talk
get
about
your way?
taxes
I'm
and
so glad
COVID
we
again.
went through a little history lesson. Let's do that a little more.
Oh,
In
dang.
1864.
Well, I'd like you to answer the question.
Mr. Vice President, I'm speaking. I'm speaking.
I'm speaking. Thank you.
In 1864,
Thank you. Yes.
one of
yes,
the,
I'm a Karen.
I think, political heroes, certainly of the president,
I'm a
I assume
Karen.
if you also,
If you
Mr.
didn't
Vice
know.
President, is Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln
A Republican,
was up for
by the way.
re-election. And
Abraham
it was
Lincoln was a
27
Republican.
days before the election. And a seat became open on the United States Supreme Court. Abraham Lincoln's party was in charge not only of the White House, but the Senate.
Is it sad that you have to
But
go
Honest
this
Abe
far back
Said
to bring
it's not
up a
the right
story?
thing to do. The American
And
people
Honest Abe
deserve to make the
ran the
decision about who will be
dirtiest
the next president of the
campaigns
United States.
in the
And
history
then
of
that
the United
person
States,
can
if
select
you remember
who
your
will serve
history.
for a lifetime on
Lincoln
the highest
was
court
was
of our
the
land.
dirtiest
And so
campaign
Joe and I
runner.
are very clear. The American people are voting right now. And it should be their decision about who will serve on this most important body for a lifetime.
Thank you,
And
Senator
the
Harris.
people, Susan, are voting right now. They'd like to know if you and Joe Biden are going to pack the Supreme Court.
Yeah,
if you don't
remember
get
that
your
question
way in
I
this
asked?
nomination.
The one you just didn't answer?
You
I'm going to ask it again.
Non-answer, Joe Biden.
And you're not
gave
going to
an
answer it
I answer
again?
you
The
now.
American people deserve a straight answer. And if you haven't figured it out yet, the straight answer is they are going to pack the Supreme Court. if they somehow
Remember that
win this
question I
election.
asked? I'm not going to let you get
I
away
will
with
tell you,
that.
people across this country, if you cherish our Supreme Court, if you cherish the Biden-Harris ticket, come November the 3rd, re-elect President Donald
Heck,
Trump.
people
and we'll
are already
stand by that
voting.
separation of powers in a 9-seat Supreme Court.
Yeah, let's talk about packing the court then.
Let's talk about
Let's talk
packing the
about
court.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
about to.
we're gonna do it. Let's do it. She's not gonna do it.
So the Trump-Pence administration
Oh,
has
we're gonna
been, because
talk
I sit
about
on the
him.
Senate Judiciary Committee.
She's not
Susan,
gonna
as
talk
you
about whether or
mentioned,
not she's
and I've
going to.
witnessed
She's gonna talk
the
about
appointments
them
for
doing
lifetime
it.
appointments to the federal courts, district courts, courts of appeal. People who are purely ideological, people who have been reviewed by legal professional organizations and found to have been not competent, are substandard. And do you know that of the 50 people
50.
who President Trump
300 million
appointed
people
to
in
the
America.
Court of Appeals for lifetime appointments, not one is black?
Whoa!
This is what they've
Why
been
is she
doing.
bringing
You wanna talk
race?
about packing a court? Let's have that discussion.
Oh my
All right,
goodness!
Thank you, Senator. Let's go on and talk
Not
about
one is
the issue
black.
of racial justice.
I just want the record to reflect she never answered the question.
No, she
So I think
never
the American
answered the
people, in
question.
the next debate, Joe Biden will answer the question.
Thank you,
But I think
thank
the
you.
American people know the answer.
Thank you,
She
Vice
didn't.
President.
She did.
In March, Breonna Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician in Louisville, was shot and killed after police officers executing a search warrant in a narcotics investigation broke into her apartment. The police said they identified themselves. Taylor's boyfriend said he didn't hear them do that. He used a gun registered to him to fire a shot, which wounded an officer. The officers then fired more than 20 rounds into the apartment. They say they were acting in self-defense. None of them have been indicted in connection with her death.
This is terrible.
Senator Harris, in the case of Breonna Taylor, was justice done? You have 2 minutes.
I don't believe so, and I've talked with
She'll answer
Breonna's
this
mother,
because this is
Tamika
about
Palmer,
feelings. She'll
and her
talk about
family.
feelings.
And her family deserves justice. She was a beautiful young woman. She
I mean,
had
she
as her
is
life
the
goal to become a
feelings
nurse, and
vice
she wanted to become an
president. If you
EMT
want her
to
to
first
feel
learn
bad for
what's
you.
going on out on the street, so she could then become a nurse and save lives. And her life was taken unjustifiably and tragically and violently. And it brings me to, you know,
What does it bring you to?
the 8 minutes and 46 seconds that America witnessed, during which an American man was tortured and killed under the knee of an armed, uniformed police officer.
Yeah, that was terrible too.
And people
terrible.
around our country
I ain't gonna lie.
of every race,
Let's feel
of
bad.
every age,
This is
of
the-
every gender,
When you want to
perfect
talk about
strangers to each
feelings,
other,
she'll be right on you there.
marched
You want to talk about
shoulder to
facts?
shoulder, arm in arm,
Bah.
fighting for us to finally achieve that ideal of equal justice under law. And I was a part of those peaceful protests. And I believe strongly that, first of all, we are never going to condone violence, but we always must fight for the values that we hold dear, including the fight to achieve our ideals. And that's why Joe Biden and I have said on this
What
subject.
happened to the screen?
Look, and
Did
I'm
you
a,
see that?
a former career prosecutor. I know what I'm talking about. Bad cops are bad for good cops. We need reform
Prosecutors.
of our policing in America
She's
and our
probably
criminal justice
protected
system,
a
which is
few
why
bad
Joe
cops
and I
as a
will
prosecutor.
immediately ban chokeholds and carotid holds.
AJ, you'll back me
George
up on
Floyd
that,
would be
right?
alive today if we did that.
Yep.
We will.
I bet you will.
require
You don't
a
even have to
national
answer.
registry
I know. You'll
for
back
police
me up.
officers who
If she
break
was a
the law.
prosecutor,
We
she's
will, on the
defending.
issue of criminal
She probably
justice
defended
reform,
a lot of bad cops.
get rid of private prisons and cash bail, and
Thank
we
you.
will decriminalize marijuana, and
Thank you, Senator Harris.
we will expunge the records of those who have
Thank you,
been
Senator
convicted
Harris.
of marijuana. This is
Thank
a
you,
time
Senator
for
Harris.
leadership on a tragic, tragic issue
Senator Harris,
of
your time
unarmed
is up.
black people in America who
Thank
have
you,
been
Senator
killed.
Harris.
Jump scares.
Vice President Pence, let me pose the same question to you. In the case of
Is
Breonna
it a
Taylor,
CGI simulation?
was justice done? You have 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Let's go.
Well, our heart breaks for the loss of any innocent American life. And the family of Breonna Taylor has our sympathies.
Are you going to look into it?
But I trust our
there's
justice
a big
system,
old but.
a grand jury that refused the evidence. And it really is remarkable that as a former prosecutor, you would assume that an impaneled grand jury looking at all the evidence got it wrong. But you're entitled to your opinion, Senator.
Oh, dang.
Look, and with regard to George Floyd, there's no excuse for what happened to George Floyd. And justice will be served. But there's also no excuse for the rioting and looting that followed. I mean, it really is astonishing. Flora Westbrook is with us here tonight in Salt Lake City. Just a few weeks ago, I stood at what used to be her salon. Was burned to the ground by rioters and looters. And Flora is still trying to put her life back together. And I must tell you, this presumption that you hear consistently from Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
They're answering this question.
That America is systemically
I don't know why.
racist. And that, as Joe Biden said, that he believes that law enforcement has an implicit bias against minorities.
Do you notice he's not looking down at his notes?
Is a great insult to the men and women who serve in law enforcement. And I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform of law enforcement every day that President Trump
Joe
and I
Hill's just
stand
went live.
with you. And it is remarkable that when Senator
He's
Tim
not
Scott
watching the
tried
vice
to
presidential
pass a police
debate.
reform bill, brought together a
Joe
group of
Hills is a
Republicans and
communist.
Democrats, Senator Harris.
No, I'm
you got up
joking.
and
I'm
walked out of the
joking. Joe
room.
Hills is cool.
And then you
Joe Hills is cool.
filibustered Senator Tim Scott's bill on the Senate floor that would have provided new accountability, new resources. Look, we don't have to choose between supporting law enforcement, improving public safety, and supporting our African American neighbors and all of our minorities.
Biden can do it,
Under President
AJ.
Trump's leadership,
Thank you, Vice
we'll always
President.
stand with law
she's
enforcement.
doing
and
it.
we'll do what we've
Thank
done
you, Vice
from day
President
one,
Thank
is
you. Your time
improve
is
the
up.
lives of
Thank you, Vice
African
President
Americans.
Thank you, Vice
Record
President.
unemployment,
Thank you, Vice President Pence.
record
Vice
investments in
President Pence, your time
education,
is
and we'll
up.
fight
Thank you,
for
Vice
school
President Pence.
choice for all of our members.
Thank you, Vice
I'd
President.
like to respond.
Senator Harris.
I will not sit here and be lectured by the vice president on what it means
Who
to
does he
enforce
think
the
he
laws
is,
of our
Vice
country. I am
President?
the only one on this stage who has personally prosecuted everything from child sexual assault to homicide. I'm the only one on this stage who has prosecuted the big banks for taking advantage of America's homeowners. I'm the only one on this stage who prosecuted for-profit colleges for taking advantage
He
of our
wasn't a
veterans.
prosecutor.
And the reality of this is,
Guess what?
that
He's the only
we
one
are
that's been a vice
talking
president
about
on
an
this
election
debate.
in 27 days, where last week the president of the United States took a debate stage in front of 70 million Americans and refused to condemn white
What's the
supremacists.
diss track?
Not true.
Show me.
And
Not true.
it wasn't like he
What's
didn't
a
have a
diss track?
chance.
Show me.
He didn't do it, and then he doubled down.
Message me.
And then he said, when pressed,
When pressed.
stand back.
Stand
back.
Her voice just started cracking.
This is a part of a pattern of Donald Trump's.
My goodness. You
He
talk
was-
about
he
racial.
called
They're
Mexicans
not really calling.
rapists
See, here's
and
the thing. They
criminals.
call it about racial
He
justice.
instituted
right?
as his first
but
act
Pence
a
isn't
Muslim
talking
ban
about
here
racial
on the issue of
justice.
Charlottesville, where people were peacefully protesting the need for racial justice, where a young woman was killed, and on the other
She's
side there
talking
were
about racial
neo-Nazis
justice.
carrying
He's not
tiki
talking about
torches,
racial
shouting
justice.
racial epithets, anti-Semitic slurs, and Donald Trump, when asked about it, said there were fine people on both sides. This is who we have as the president of the United States. And America, you deserve better. Joe Biden will be a president who brings our country together.
Senator Harris.
And recognizes the beauty
Thank you,
in our
Senator
diversity and the fact that we
Senator
all
Harris.
have
Thank
so
you.
much more in common than what separates us.
Vice President Pence, let me give you a minute to respond.
Thank you, Susan.
A minute.
I appreciate that very much. You know, I think this is one of the things that makes people dislike the media so much in this country, Susan, is that you selectively edit, just like Senator Harris did, comments that President Trump and I and others on our side of the aisle make. I mean, Senator Harris conveniently omitted, after the president made comments about people on either side of the debate over monuments, he condemned the KKK, neo-Nazis, and white supremacists, and has done so repeatedly You're concerned that he doesn't condemn neo-Nazis. President Trump has Jewish grandchildren. His daughter and son-in-law are Jewish.
That doesn't mean he likes them.
This is a president who respects and cherishes all of the American people. But you talk about having personally prosecuted. I'm glad you brought up your record, Senator.
Thank you.
I really need to make this point. When you were DA in San Francisco, when you left office,
that's
African
not a
Americans
link.
were 19 times
That's
more
not a
likely
link.
to be prosecuted for minor drug offenses than whites and Hispanics. When you were Attorney General of California, you increased the disproportionate incarceration of blacks in California. You did nothing on criminal justice reform in California.
He
you
is
didn't lift a
walking
finger
all
to pass
over
the
her.
First Step Act on Capitol Hill.
He is just, look at her.
The reality is
she's
your
like, you're
record
still
speaks
talking.
for itself.
You're
President
still
Trump and I
talking, and
have
I'm not
fought
talking. You're
for
talking, I'm
criminal
not talking.
justice reform.
Thank you, Vice President
We fought for
Pence.
educational choice and opportunities for African Americans, all of our
Thank you,
minorities.
sir.
And we'll do it for 4 more
Thank you.
years.
You know, there is no more important issue than the final issue that we're going to talk about tonight, and that is the issue of the election
But
itself.
he attacked my record. I would like an opportunity to respond.
Let me give you 30 seconds because
Just send the
because
link.
we're running out of
I
time.
appreciate that. First of all, having served as the Attorney General of the state of
I'm not
California,
going to type anything
the
in.
work
Send the link
that
so
I
I can
did
see the
is a
preview.
model of what our nation needs to do, and we will be able to do under a Joe Biden presidency. Our agenda includes what this administration has failed to do. It will be about not only instituting a
I have a
ban
feeling
on
you're
chokeholds
gonna,
and carotid holes.
Thank you.
Not only
No,
Thank
you're
you,
going to
Senator.
I would
rickroll
like
me.
to
That's
go
what it
through-
is.
These are points that you
I
made
am the
earlier in the
master
hour,
of
and I want to talk
rickrolling.
about the election itself before we have to.
But I want to talk about the connection between what Joe and I will do and my record, which includes I was the first
Oh, she's reading it.
statewide officer to institute a requirement
Look,
that
she's
my agents would wear
she's
body
reading
cameras and keep them on full time. We were the first
what
to
she did.
initiate a requirement that there would
She
be a
can't
training
remember.
for law
She's gotta
enforcement on
read it.
implicit bias because, yes, Joe Biden and I recognize
That's
that
terrible.
implicit bias does exist,
She's got
Mr.
a
Vice
copy of her
President,
resume there.
contrary to what you may believe. We did the work of instituting reforms that were
Look at her
about
look down.
investing in
She's
reentry.
looking down on her
This is
papers.
the work that we have done and the work we will do going forward. And again, I will not be lectured
Yes, send
by
me
the
your
Vice
YouTube channel,
President
AJ.
on our record of what we have done in terms of law enforcement and keeping our communities safe and a commitment to reforming the criminal justice system of America.
Thank you, Senator Harris. And I'd like to pose I'd like you to respond first to the question on our final topic, the
All right,
election
final
itself.
topic.
President
election.
Trump has several times refused to commit himself to a peaceful transfer of power after the election. If your ticket wins and President Trump refuses to accept a peaceful transfer of power, what steps would you and Vice President Biden then take? What would happen next? You have 2 minutes.
So I'll tell you, Joe and I
she doesn't
are
know what she's talking
particularly proud of the coalition that we've built around our campaign. We probably have one of the broadest coalitions of folks that you've ever seen in a presidential race. Of course, we have the support of Democrats, but also independents and Republicans. In fact,
Hey, you're streaming,
7
AJ.
members of President George W. Bush's cabinet are supporting our ticket. We have the support of Colin Powell, Cindy McCain, John Kasich, over
this Minecraft?
500
Oh, no. It's,
generals, retired generals, and former national security experts and advisors
Are
are
you a
supporting our
birdwatcher?
campaign. And I believe they are doing that because they know that Joe Biden has a deep, deep-seated commitment to fight for our democracy and to fight for the integrity of our democracy and to bring integrity back to the White House. And so
I'm gonna
we
watch a few
believe
of
in the
these.
American people. We believe in our democracy.
stopped, AJ.
And here's what I'd like to say to everybody. Vote. Please vote. Vote early. Come up with a plan to vote. Go to iwillvote.com. You can also go to joebiden.com. We have it within our power in these next 27 days to make the decision about what will be the course of our country for the next 4 years.
Didn't
And it
Biden
is
do
within
this?
our power,
Let's
and
see.
if we use our vote and we use our
Paid
voice,
for by the Democratic
we
National
will win.
Committee.
and we will
Boom.
not let anyone subvert our democracy
Boom.
with what Donald Trump has been doing, as he did on the debate stage last week, when again in front of 70 million people, he openly attempted to suppress the vote. Joe Biden, on the other hand, on that same debate stage, because clearly Donald Trump doesn't think he can run on a record because it's a failed record, Joe Biden on that stage said, hey, just please vote. So I'll repeat what Joe said. Please vote.
Thank you, Senator. Vice President Pence, President Trump has several times refused to commit himself to a peaceful transfer of power after the election. If Vice President Biden is declared the winner and President Trump refuses to accept a peaceful transfer of power, what would be your role and responsibility as vice president? What would you personally do? You have 2 minutes.
Well, Susan, first and foremost, I think we're going to win this election. Because while Joe Biden and Kamala Harris rattle off a long litany of the establishment in Washington, D.C., an establishment that Joe Biden's been a part of for 47 years.
If they don't win? Well,
President
we are going
Donald
to win.
Trump has launched a movement of everyday Americans from every walk of life. And I have every confidence that those same Americans that delivered that historic victory in 2016, they see this president's record where we rebuild our military, we revived our economy through tax cuts and rolling back regulation, fighting for fair trade, unleashing American energy. We appointed conservatives to our federal courts at every level. And we stood with the men and women of law enforcement every single day. And I think that movement of Americans has only grown stronger in the last 4 years. But when you talk about accepting the outcome of the election, I must tell you, Senator, your party has spent the last 3.5 years trying to overturn the results of the last election. It's amazing. When Joe Biden was vice president of the United States, the FBI actually spied on President Trump and my campaign. I mean, there were documents released this week that the CIA actually made a referral to the FBI documenting that those allegations were coming from the Hillary Clinton campaign. And of course, we've all seen the avalanche, what you put the country through for the better part of 3 years until it was found that there was no obstruction, no collusion, case closed. And then, Senator Harris, you and your colleagues in the Congress tried to impeach the President of the United States.
They didn't try. They did impeach him.
And now Hillary Clinton has actually said to Joe Biden that in her words, under no circumstances should he concede the election. So let me just say, I think
can't watch it. I'm streaming.
President Trump and I are fighting every day in courthouses to prevent Joe Biden and Kamala Harris from changing the rules.
I'm sorry,
universal
Mr. Vice President Pence.
Create a massive opportunity for voter fraud.
Trump was impeached.
We have a free and fair election.
I know you want to say that, they tried to.
And I believe in all my heart that President Donald Trump's going to be reelected for 4 more years.
That was a succession.
I've written all the questions that I've asked tonight, but for the final question of the debate,
she's going to make a question up. Let's make a question
that someone else wrote. The Utah Debate Commission asked students in the state to write essays about what they would like to ask you. And I want to close tonight's debate with the question posed by Brecklin Brown. She's an 8th grader at Springville Junior High in Springville, Utah. And here's what she wrote. Quote,
she sounds fake.
When I watch the news, all I see is arguing between Democrats and Republicans. When I watch the news, all I see is citizen fighting against citizen. When I watch the news, all I see are 2 candidates from opposing parties trying to tear each other down. If our leaders can't get along, how are the citizens supposed to get along? And then she added, your examples could make all the difference to bring us together.
That is a very fake question.
Take 1 minute.
That is mom says, hey,
to Brecklin. Vice
Brecklin, write this down. We're going to pass
it's a wonderful question.
She didn't write that.
And let me just commend you for taking an interest in public life. I started following the news when I was very young. And in America, we believe in a free and open exchange of debate. And we celebrate that. And it's how we've created literally the freest and most prosperous nation in the history of the world. I would tell you that don't assume that what you're seeing on your local news networks is synonymous with the American people. You know, I look at the relationship between Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the late justice who we just lost from the Supreme Court, and the late Justice Antonin Scalia. They were on polar opposites on the Supreme Court of the United States. One very liberal, one very conservative.
You're giving me
but
away.
What's been learned since her passing was the 2 of them and their families were the very closest of friends. I mean, here in America, we can disagree. We can debate vigorously, as Senator Harris and I have on this stage tonight. But when the debate is over, we come together as Americans. And that's what people do in big cities and small towns all across this country. So I just want to encourage you, Brecklin. I want to tell you that we're going to work every day to have government as good as our people. And the American people each and every day love a good debate.
Why
we
are there
love a good
cats?
Argument,
I don't
but
know.
We always come together and are always there for one another.
Thank you.
In times of need, and we've especially learned that.
I don't know what's going on right now.
This year.
Senator Harris, what would you say to Brecklin?
I'd say, Brecklin, stop having Mom writing your questions. That's what I would do.
Leaders. And when I hear her words, when I hear your words, Brecklin,
it's not her words.
I know our future is bright because
I think someone in the audience is playing Minecraft.
That is a sign of leadership and is something we should all aspire to be. And that, that brings me to Joe.
I don't know
Joe
what you guys are talking about.
One of the reasons that Joe decided to run for president
I don't know what you guys are talking
Charlottesville, which we talked about earlier. It so troubled him and upset him like it did all of us that there was that kind of hate and division. What propelled Joe to run for president was to see that over the course
Maybe
of
this
the
is
last
what Joe
4
Hills
years,
is doing.
What Brecklin described has been happening. Joe has
if I want to be a popular YouTuber, this is what we got to do.
And working in a bipartisan way.
Because he's from Tennessee.
And that's what he's going to do as president. Joe Biden has a history of lifting people up and fighting for their dignity. You have to know Joe's story to know that Joe has known pain, he has known suffering, and he has known love. And so, Brecklin, when you think about the future, I do believe the future is bright. And it will be because of your leadership, and it will be because we fight for each person's voice.
Unless you're white, because I'm a Democrat.
And we get engaged in this election because you have the ability through your work and through
was I not allowed to say that?
Thank you,
to determine the future of our country and what its leadership looks like.
Oh, wait, did she say Vice President?
Thank you, Senator Harris. Thank you, Vice President
wait,
Pence.
did she
Thank
say
you so
Vice
much for
President
being with
just
us
then?
tonight.
Did she?
We want to thank also the University of Utah for its
could have sworn I
hospitality.
just heard Vice
And
President.
most of all, our thanks to all the Americans who watched this debate tonight. Again, our best wishes for a quick recovery to President Trump,
you guys.
the First Lady, and everyone who is battling COVID-19. The second presidential debate is next week on October 15th, a town hall-style debate in Miami.
That's why can't you join
we hope
the
you'll
server?
join us then. Good evening.
And that is the end of the Vice Presidential
Why can't you
debate
join
right
the
there.
server?
What a difference a week makes.
No, we got
Two very different personalities on the stage.
See, we got to pause it here because now they start getting into opinion and what we saw and how this is how you should think, and we don't do that. We don't do that kind of garbage. But do you guys want to you want to talk about it a little bit? We can move this to the side. We can bring this up. We can come back to where we were. Let's see. Here we go. Boom, boom. Where do we got? We got Brokeland here, and where's Keith's dad? Keith's dad. We're gonna put him right here. Boom. All right. We'll move this up a little bit. There we go. I don't like the way that looks. All right. Here we go. There we go. All right. Yeah, that looks. Oh, we gotta move this up a little bit. And then I think I'm missing something. Is this what I'm missing? Yep, here we go. The Hermitcraft one? That's that one. That one is a little I don't know. This one's a lot like Hermitcraft too. But honestly, if you can't get this one done, you know, you're probably not going to do very well in the private server. Do this one. Let's see you go kill an Ender Dragon. Do it. Do it, Ats. We don't have any music. We just got me chopping stuff. Because the private server, you're really on your own. There is no teams. You don't get anything for free. do this one, AJ. I mean, I'm not doing anything important, but we can talk about the after election. This is the after election type of thing. What do you think? If you were to say, yeah, I know what your answer is going to be. I know what your answer is going to be, AJ. You're going to say nobody won that debate. But if you were forced to say somebody won that debate, who would you say won that debate? I'm gonna, or are you gonna politic this and not answering the question? I'm not saying do it right now, Ats. I mean, for crying out loud, it's 2 a.m. Only people with no lives are playing Minecraft now. AJ, you have to say who won that debate. You have to answer. Like you have to say, I think somebody won it. If you were to say put um you know what I mean. Answer the question. Let's see. Let's talk about it. Who won that debate? What about you, Ats? I mean, you watched it. Kamala Harris or Mike Pence? Who would you say had a stronger performance in your opinion? We gotta stay on topic here. No, you need to answer it, AJ. I know. They both stunk. Who stunk less? Who stunk? You have to say the white-haired bloke. You think he had a stronger performance, Ats? I actually, I mean, no, I'll wait. Let's hear from AJ. AJ, let's hear. Who had a stronger performance? Who sucked less? They both stunk. I will agree with you. We're not in. KeithsDad doesn't endorse any political candidate. I'm not endorse. This isn't a sign of endorsement. Hey, Keelan. Keelan, did you watch the presidential debate? Vice presidential debate? I'm gonna take a wild guess you didn't. But just in case. I need an answer, AJ. Don't politic me. Don't politic me. Yes. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. So what? You think Don't politic me. See you later, Ats. Have a good night. Did you watch it, Keelan? Did you watch Keelan? Did you watch from the beginning? No? Yes? Then I mean, how can you be informed and say they both suck? No, they did both suck. I mean, we know that. But I mean, you can't I am more of a violent anarchist. Is that what your YouTube channel is going to be all about? Is that what I'm watching? Cuz that's awesome. I don't you know me. I don't take things personally or anything like that. So I am actually looking forward to watching a few videos on your channel. Oh, Keelan, you said is a more of a violent clips. It just finished, Keelan. It just finished. Like not 10 minutes ago. What clips are you watching? Not the presidential one, the vice president. We just rewind the stream. Rewind the stream, Keelan. We just watched the vice presidential debate. The vice president. what I gotta do is I gotta get Rav. I gotta get Rav to watch the debate and and make clips of me. I mean, I did send him. I sent him some money this week. Because he's been helping me out on the stream and stuff like that. So I sent him a little bit of money, and we need him to make clips of that because there were a couple times I really would love to see the clips, certain clips, shorten them. You know, no one's gonna watch a huge stream when you could clip it. The whole answering the questions, for crying out loud, they really didn't want to answer not one question except for the feelings question. Dang, there's wood all over this place. Look at all this wood. What the heck? Dang, that's way high up there. Oh, there's another piece. I'd play Hypixel, but I'm not 12. Oh, dang! No, I'm joking. We got more wood? Oh, yeah, there's a tree here. We definitely have tons of wood. You didn't answer the question, AJ. You didn't answer the question. I'm gonna be like Mike Pence and force you to the question. Who won? Wait. Politics these days are not about the candidate's policy. It is why the other running man is a fun head and why they should not be voted. I like Parliament. What do you mean Parliament? What do you mean Parliament? What does that mean? UK politics? Is that what you're talking about? What do you mean Parliament? Because I make more sense. I wonder what I wonder what the conspiracy theories will be to come tomorrow. Like, did I hear a creeper? What do you think the conspiracy theory? Who's wearing the wire? Like so much scale. I mean, Parliament is just a word, but I mean we have the Senate and stuff. I mean, they call it, instead of president, they call it prime minister, and but I mean it's not like it's super different. Is this a thunderstorm? I would love for this to be a thunderstorm. It's not going to be, but I would love for it to be a thunderstorm. Where'd that skelly go? Pence is a lizard man? I wouldn't. I could be. Lizard man for vice president? Is that what you're saying? Save the queen. Dang. Stop. What did you just have? Oh, that's my bow. Oh, you had garbage bow. Oh! Yes, sirree. We need blocks. Yes, sirree. Here we go. Creeper. Boom. Let's do this, buddy boy. Let's do this. Where are you? Oh no! go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we got it. Where is it? There it is. We got the skelly head. We finished our collection. Boom, we got him. All right. So let's we need somebody. We need another monster. Let's go, monster. Here's a zombie. Here's a zombie. Oh, you know what? We need another creeper, but we can do a zombie for now. We can do a zombie for now. Here we go. 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 There we go. Where's the zombie head? Did I get it? Where's the zombie head? I mean, the creeper totally blew him up. Where's the zombie head? There it is. There it is. Boom. Okay. Creeper. We're making huge, huge holes, by the way. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Nope. There we go. All right. All right. All right, Mr. Skeleton. We need another. We kind of need another creeper head is what we need. But for now, let's deal with skeletons. Boom. We're getting pretty good with that. Here we go. Here's a skeleton head. There we go. Ah! Oh. Thank you, Keelan. Oh, thunderstorm's over. Thunderstorm's over. What about you, oh no, we already asked Keelan. We already asked Keelan. You got, Maddie, can you don't? Sorry, Maddie, you got slapped by the Keelan. Alright, here we go. One of my friend's names was Oops, and his brother was on his account. He said you were pretty chill. Hey, thanks, Gray. Thanks, Gray. We do. We just keep it chill here. You know, you're open to your opinions. Just keep them pretty clean if you can, as best you can. You missed the debate though. It was a pretty I mean, it was a pretty terrible debate. Not gonna lie. I mean, it was pretty terrible. But I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? It's a vice president debate. Nobody cares. That's just why we sat and made fun of it. That's why we made fun of it. Dang. All right, let's grab a shield here. Let's put this here. We're gonna put the shield here. Glass here. What else we got? Torches. What's his name, Gray? What's his name? And I don't buy that. But what's his name? Oh, no, no, no. It's 11 o'clock, AJ. It's 11 o'clock. You want me to drink more coffee? What, are you looking for an all-nighter, AJ? You looking for an all-nighter? Yeah, who's your friend's name, Gray? And of course you can join. It's a public server. Oh, Beto Ops. Yeah, he was X-raying, and I ended the stream, and then we had a quite the back and forth of killing each other. Obi Ops, you guys missed it, but I was streaming while they were playing, and then I got off the stream, and I went and spectated, and they were X-raying, and so I killed them and stuff. Yes, you guys are welcome. You're welcome to join the server. Just no cheating, because I'm just gonna have to, ban you and humiliate you on the stream, which is fun. I don't mind doing it. It's enjoyable. Honestly, half the point of watching this stream on the public server is to watch. Um, I don't believe it, Gray. Don't believe it for a second. Sorry. Next time, make sure he logs out of his account prior to leaving. You know, it's still on him, even if his brother used it. Sorry. He shouldn't allowed his brother to play on the account. That's all I gotta say. Sorry. But you're welcome to join us, Gray. You're welcome to join us. What are we doing here? We got, oh, look at that. We got 16 plus 2. We got 18, 26 honeycombs. In fact, we may have more honeycombs than we know what to do with. Well, we should still be pretty good. That's what we did last stream. Did you watch the vice presidential debate, Gray? Did you watch it perchance? Are you still there? Yeah, sorry. Can't do it. You really only get one chance on KeithsDad server. That's, I make the rules very clear. Very crystal clear, and if you jump on a server and you cheat, you're gonna get banned for it. Just don't be terrible. That would be my recommendation. On another server, don't cheat. I mean, does it get any simpler? I mean, that's you join the server. Come on in, Gray. You're welcome to join the server. If you'd like. It is public. Here we go. Boom. Let me check something here. All right. Okay. So what do we got? We got some honey going. I mean, that's really why I logged on. Gray on TTV. GG. GG. Welcome to Broke Land. I almost said Broke Landy, but I mean that's something totally different. Hello. Did you say hello? No, I said hello, but that's close enough. Should come inside and meet the missus. Good luck, Gray. Don't do anything stupid, please. Boom, boom. I'd say if you can treat this similar to like a Hermitcraft style server, because that's really what it is. I can't really control that. It is boomer humor. It's from a 1980s movie, Keelan. If you're familiar with the movie's name is Labyrinth. It's an old movie. Yeah, you're right. Boomers would get that joke, but I wouldn't expect you guys to get it. However, if you haven't seen that movie, I recommend it. It's a fantastic movie. Labyrinth is a great movie. How long till do you think till he asks me what my chords are? Uh, I'm seeing a. I'm sorry, Gray. I wish you luck, but I'll be honest. Since you mentioned obits, um, I'll be honest. I don't have much faith in you. First time in a while. It came out 2 years ago. Keelan. It came out. It hasn't even been out a while. I do have the record of it. I bought the LP. I don't know, just because I bought the LP for it. It's a really good record. The music on it is really good. I enjoy it. It's a great musical. I mean, is having faith that they're gonna do the wrong thing having faith in the government? Isn't that still having faith in the government, AJ? Having faith that they're gonna do the wrong thing is still faith in the government. No? Alrighty. We collected a lot of stuff. Let's plant this real quick. Dang, I only got 10 of those. Alright, government is just a show, and we don't play their part. You get yeeted. I mean, you're not wrong, but doesn't government see? In my opinion, government does have a purpose. There is a logical purpose for government. Do I think they're doing it? Yes. Do I think they do things they're not supposed to do? Yes. The federal government should only be like maintaining the union, in my opinion, and um, the military. But all this like a lot of these laws and they shouldn't. I don't think they need to do that. Our taxes should only go into either military, um, sorry, I'm distracted. Should go into either military or just paying for the government itself. But really, that's all I see it useful for. All right, hold on. I'll be right back. Be right back. And we are back. Oh, I still have toilet paper behind me, apparently. That's weird. Boom. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Wise words from the art of war. Very wise words. How's Spawn looking these days? Let's see. We ended up going to Spawn here. I did read your quote. Well, not your quote. The art of war quote. Boom. Shoom. I did. True. Boom, creeper. Boom, creeper. Where did you go? Where'd you go, Gray? Oh, you done messed with the zombies. They're coming to get you. Oh, now he's gonna kill. He killed the zombie. Now he's gonna kill me with his bone. Dang. Ah! Oh, oh. Ah! That was scary for a second. I am terrible at PvP. I am terrible at PvP. Are you coming back to spawn? Where'd you run off to, Gray? I heard you, Keelan. Are you heading back? Yeah, tonight is a school night. Oh, United Cells of Cells at Work. Whee. He's hiding. It's nut time. I see ya, TT Trey Gray. Well, the cells, I don't know. The cells should unite because they keep arrowing out when there's only one of them. Yes, I am watching you, Gray. I am in spectator. We're all watching ya. Yes. What is your channel referencing? Cells are made of organelles or organelles. Is that what you Keelan? What? Come on and tell us, United. What is like the nucleus, cell wall, mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Oh my goodness. It's like the only thing you ever learn about cells in school. It's the only thing you'll remember too. Yep. Unless you're going to be a doctor, then maybe you'll know. It's almost daytime, Gray. It's almost daytime. Cytoplasm. He looks like a Coca-Cola bear. Eating watermelon? I'm a science boy too. You want to talk about space? I know. I love talking about space. I go to sleep um, watching space documentaries. Love them. Love them. Yeah, you're saying a lot, but you're not saying anything, United. What certain TV show? What legend? going down. Down we go. We have movement. It's daylight out. Down we go. Down we go. I do not. I am a Carl Sagan nut, Keelan. I am actually not a fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't like it. We got iron. AJ Morningstar is not a kid. United. He is not. We got an iron pick. Iron pick, everybody. Here it comes. Isn't it? Isn't it iron pick? Let's do it. Let's get that iron going. I am also a kid. Y16. Isn't it? Keelan, do you know that reference? Isn't it iron pick? What do you know what that's a boomer reference right there. No, you're not. You're not. The answer to your question is no, I am not a Trump supporter. I don't support any candidate. I am a full independent. That's what I am. Full on independent. I will make fun of everybody. Make sure to like and subscribe because statistic. Oh my goodness, Keelan. Oh, here we go. We're going down. We're going down. We're going sideways. He's at Y40. I believe you. Do it. Do it. Let's see that strip mine. Let's see the strip mine. Let's see that strip mine. Yep, at Y12. Here we go. Diamonds. GG. Oh, oh. We decided that way's no good anymore. That way's no good anymore. Where are we going now? Where are we going now? Nope, that way's no good either. Apparently. Here we go. Oh, we're turning. We're turning. We're turning. Yeah, get more. Get more. Boom. Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? He's got more diamonds. Surprise, surprise! Surprise, surprise! Was it worth it? Oh, good golly. X-ray not allowed. Kill. Ready? Ready? He's going to get mad. Ready? He's going to get mad. So, yeah, it's so legit. Oh, get mad. He's still on. Yeah, that lava will kill you. Here we go. Let's see. All right. Give KeithsDad command block. Boom. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Now we need a button. Button. Boom. Boom. There we go. Here we go. All right. We'll grab this. Boom. Here we go. Console command. There we go. Done. And ready? Now we got to get rid of the button. All right, here we go. We got. You fell out of the world. I don't know what happened. Come on over. We get to play with him now because he's done. He's done. Where'd he go? Oh, he's way over there. Where is he? There he is. Hey, I'm over here. Come over here. Come over here. Where'd he go? Come over here. Over here. Come on. Come over here. Come over here. Come, 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 come. Oh, he's way in the distance. I mean, when till when he decides that this is no longer fun, running is futile. Here we go. Nope, it didn't work that time. He's still dead. We gotta play with the cheaters. We gotta play with the cheaters. There we go. Boom. He's running again. He's running again. Oh. How far is he gonna get? How far is he gonna get? Boom! You probably could. You probably could beat me one-on-one. You probably could. Because we don't cheat here. Give me some blocks. No, there's blocks all around. It's a freaking block game. You're standing on a block. Just... Mr. Doggo, you think... Here's some blocks. Okay. There's blocks all over the place. Trust. Yeah, I mean, he's totally cheating. He keeps coming back. Do you see him in the distance? Oh, good golly, there he is. Here he comes. What's he gonna do? He's gonna look at blocks. Oh, we're gonna get him. Oh, good golly. I don't think he realizes he doesn't get to play anymore. X-Ray, you don't get to play. You really don't. You just... No, he's taking blocks. I don't know what he's doing, but he's apparently not watching the stream. I'm watching him in the distance. I mean, X-Rayers, they don't get to play. Here he comes. Boop. Can I get this? Oh, I can't get the command block back. All right, we gotta come over here. Whee! Okay. All right, we gotta give KeithsDad a command block. Oh, we gotta throw this on the ground. Then yeah. All right. Then we'll do this. Done. All right. Here we go. And then we need to put this here. Where's my button? Button. He doesn't realize you don't get to play. Oh, I could do this all day. No, because blocked. Look behind you. Look behind you. Oh. You're getting attacked. He pushed his own button. Oh, good golly. You make good stream, Gray. You make good stream. What do you mean you didn't think X-Ray wasn't allowed? Have you ever played on a server where it was allowed? That's why your buddy got banned. Oh, good golly. Yeah. Oh, good golly. See, you're missing out too because this is a pretty good server when you play legit. You know, it's got a private server feel because you got KeithsDad monitoring it constantly. La 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 la. Nope, too far. I mean, he's totally using kill aura. I'm waiting for when he gives up. He doesn't want to give up. We're gonna watch this X-rayer. Yep, there we go. We're gonna watch this X-rayer just wait for his will to live to end. You wanna do it to me? Here we go. Like for this poor child. Yeah, I would, but you are using kill aura. I'm knit. I'm knit. I'm knit. I'm knit. Man, he's just going crazy here. We already established that you are. That's why you are only good for stream entertainment. Oh. Oh, he's losing it now. Oh, clickers, he's an X-rayer. So now all he's not doing very much. Here we go. Boom. Here we go. Yep. He's an X-rayer, and now he's like now he's pleading for his life. That's all he's got left. That's all he's got left. Look at the baby. Even the baby's kicking his butt. Even the Oh, Ravager. Let's get Ravagers in here. All right. Let's kill these guys. All right, let's kill these guys. Where is he going? You don't get to go anywhere. He's got 1 follower on Twitch. Oh, too funny. Too funny, Keelan. Alright, we gotta get all these Zoglins. Baby Zoglin. Alright, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, he got rid of the buttons. Well, that's okay. Let's get a button. Boom. Do I have a spot? Oh, we have buttons here. Okay. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. There we go. Where's he going? Where's he going? I can't get the buttons. Oh, good golly. Oh, this is so much fun. The Ravagers are too much for him. Oh, he's running too far away. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got me. you suck. Well, let's see. He's trying to type something, I'm sure. Look at that. Oh, you missed the vice presidential debate clickers. That's what you did. There we go. You can't type anything. Can we just like... What is it? This is... Oh, good golly. Oh. Where are you? Yay. I'm waiting for him to give up. I mean, I should make a redstone clock on it. He's trying to find a win. He doesn't realize that, it's my server. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, you can't come on and cheat and then wonder why I'm having fun with you here. I mean, you know? I mean, what do you think this is? A democracy? I mean, wait, we'll just... Oh, to put him in timeout because he gets noticed that he's in timeout. You're not gonna win. You're get good, kid. Oh, good golly. I mean, this is what happens with hackers. This is what you get. What do you expect? Everyone knows X-ray is not allowed. Everyone knows it. You know it, unless you're a moron, which I mean, considering you're still you haven't taken a hint and logged off yet. Oh, good golly. Oh, I mean, I wouldn't have any problem. Yeah, you just threatened a child. You're legit 30. No, I'm 40. 4-zip. 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 Yes, I'm 4-zip. Get a life. You can't do it. You're dumb. I'm dumb. Oh, good golly. 40. Yeah. But you say 40. Yeah, 40. I'm 40. I'm 40, and I own my own business, and I make enough money to run 2 servers, and you're hacking because you don't know how to play Minecraft. Oh, good golly. What do you mean get an actual job? I run my own company, buddy boy. Is it? Yeah, yeah, you can do it. My child? Which one? Which one? The 22-year-old? My 22-year-old child? Oh, good golly. Good golly almighty. This is too funny. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I mean, I could ban him any time, but this is just funny. Are we ready? Are we done? Are we done with them? Are we done? Are we done? I mean, yes, I'm a 40-year-old playing Minecraft, which is a block game. I've also been playing video games for like quite a long time, probably since your mom was a child, and yeah, and I have a 22-year-old. Thanks for the view. Yeah, even dislikes are good for the channel. I mean, likes are a little better, but dislikes are good too. And you're viewing them. I enjoy it. Where is he? Let's go. Not bad, Ian. We got a hacker that we set up a little command block, so we kill him every time he comes on. Oh, there he goes. He left. He left. Game over. All right, we'll just ban him. Time to just ban. Oh, TTY, TTV. All right. Delete / ban. Boom. Okay. All right, let's get rid of our bad blocks. That's bad. That's bad. The Ravager egg is bad. Pretty sure the wheat seeds are bad too. Now, where are those Ravagers, by the way? Because new players, that would not be good for new players. So let's make sure those Ravagers are taken care of. Uh, I don't see him. Do you see him? Did they despawn? I'm assuming they despawned. Yeah, I'll probably ban his IP clickers, but not on stream. I'm not going to. Okay, your dog. You had a dog by spawn, right? I don't know. Don't bring anything to spawn. Why? Building by spawn would be terrible. Okay, hold on 1 second. Be right back. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, we're back. What am I missing? What am I missing? All right, here we go. KeithsDad, remember that guy? I found his base. He broke my bed, and now I am in spawn. Can you find me where he is? Can you find me where he is? I mean, I look. I'd love to help, but I mean, you gotta get away from spawn. You got to. I can't defend you if you're at spawn. There's not much I can do. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say don't go to spawn. It's a bad idea. Oh, I don't know where his base is. What's the guy's name? This is beautiful, by the way. I really enjoy this. This is like the best bee farm I've ever had. Oh, guys want to see something? Or I don't know if you guys were on, if you watched the stream. Keelan, 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 look at this. Watch this. Real quick. Watch this, Keelan. Wait, wait, wait 1 second. 1 second. So somebody came on, Lewis. Lewis was on, and Lewis went and killed the Ender Dragon, right? So he killed the Ender Dragon. Were you on the stream? I don't think you were watching the stream before, Keelan, were you? But Lewis was here, and he killed the Ender Dragon. He opened up this portal, right? Right? Look how crazy this is. Watch this. Look, look at this. Have you ever seen this? Look at this. He literally spawned onto an end city. Now you're thinking, wow, that's crazy. You know, that's absolutely nuts. I mean, what could be more OP than than having to just come over here, right? Is But no, no, it doesn't end there. Watch this. Do you see that? Look. Not one, but two. Two ships. Two ships. Two. He got two. It's crazy. This is ridiculous. This is unheard of. So I did let him get both ships. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. Oh no, we want that. There we go. Oh, where's my rockets? There we go. This is the craziest I've seen. I've never seen this. I mean, I've seen two ships next to each other, but never like this. Never. Let me in. Let me in. I got a pearl. I got a pearl. Whoa, 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 wait, wait. Boom. No. Boom. Yeah. Wait. Wait, what? Did I just find a bug? I definitely didn't go up 50 blocks. I think we just found a bug of some sort. Good. I mean, I don't know where his base is, Clickers. I'm not exactly sure where his base is. I hate to tell you. It's definitely daytime. The honey machine is working very, very well. I think I'm going to call it. It's midnight, so we're going to call it as well. So, what do we learn from this stream? One, vice presidents don't like to answer questions, and vice presidential candidates don't like to answer questions. Cheaters never win, and it's funny to watch them struggle. And AJ's awesome, and he's got a YouTube that I'm gonna check out, which I think he's gonna indoctrinate me into his conspiracy theory. Um, we're Keith's dad's gonna be a brainwashed person here shortly. Um, let's see. Look, and yeah, so thank you guys for watching the debate. I'm not sure who won. I would like to answer it. So let's say let me answer who won, right? I have a feeling in this particular case after watching it, and this is just my opinion of the vice presidential race is I think the Democrats are going to say Kamala Harris won, and the Republicans are going to say Pence won. Mike Pence won. Who do I think won? Honestly, I'd like to say Mike Pence won, and I think it's because he seemed a more level-headed debater. While she was just like smiling and laughing, like she was so nervous at all his answers and that. And Keith's dad did win. We all won, AJ. But I'll be honest, in my opinion, if I was forced to pick a winner, like if someone was chopping my fingers off one by one, right? By the time they got to my Wadsky fingers, right? Um, or my these two fingers, these are the fingers I need for Minecraft. So once they got to one of these fingers, they could chop the other ones off. But once they got to these fingers, I would have to say I believe Mike Pence won. I do. I do. What does that mean? Probably nothing. But that's my opinion. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching the stream. You guys have a great night. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. All right. See ya. See ya, AJ.